Right, guys, right. Let's get that down a wee bit. Fuck. Do not know where I'm getting the energy for this one, guys. Take the towels off there. Looks too working class, doesn't it? Right. One in. 2 seconds, guys.
All done soon? Yep, and not just with your hair. With the help of Xero accounting software, I've sorted my numbers.
Wee bit bunkers. Straight in there. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Get rid of these nonsense videos with big adverts. Get it back onto Freedom Dad. Phone. Put you in here. 2 seconds, guys. I will get back to your comments. Happy days. Okay, let me have a wee look here. I need to look at these comments first before I can get on to the big comments. So, hello Freedom Dad, how you doing? That's Nissan. Wee bit bunkers, Anne Lady, Gary Belfast, Alan, Lady J. Have I missed anybody? Right to be right, Caitlin. Oh, Foxy lad. Usual ranking, Davey. Number 55. Let me turn this down. Huggy, how you doing, mate? Good evening. Geez, oh man, it's not easy being me. Tell you that now for nothing. All right, Philip, how you doing? Happening? No, it's just M&G. Get back to you in a minute. Just sat down, mate. Okay, no kidding you on, like. Get in. Got a week. I got a cup of coffee. And then I realised I left my battery pack in Eddie's car. Yes, M&G, rum glasses. If that's even the real M&G, you know what I mean? Because we don't know who that is now, do we? Because M&G's been away that long. We've even got a new logo up, guys. So I'll let my detectives work that one out. Kirky, about you, Mark. All right, I'm good, mate. How are you, Captain Kirk? Wee bit bunkers, we don't know. Could be anybody pretending to be M&G, you know what I mean? He's been away for a long time. One thing I've ran out of coffee. Plenty of coffee here too. Stuart Brown, good ladies of Northern Ireland joined the Pink Ladies movement. They are up on roughly 1,000 members now. Yep, I'll definitely get onto that. We have our own Pink Ladies movement in Northern Ireland, so we do. Where's your chick? How you doing? Space Cadet, good evening. Yeah, so make it a few trolls in the night, guys. So like what I'm gonna say to you is, to my moderators, we will let the negative comments come through tonight, as long as they're not silly. You know, you know the difference between somebody who has got genuine concerns and somebody who's just here to, I don't know, be silly. I'm scared because daughter going to girls' guides and they're learning self-defense. You shouldn't be scared because she's learning self-defense. Ronnie C, how you doing? Raymond Dunlop. Bestie here. LOL. Lady Jake. Theo. Here in Northern Ireland, my missus has joined them. Oh, good. Yes, definitely. I'll need to slow some links up and start concentrating on that. It's just so much to do. But I should be on top of that. There has been in my head and keep meaning to do it, but you know, guys, it's getting around to doing it. You know what I mean? Pick C40, evening all. How you doing, mate? 40 pants, how's it going? How's it cutting, everyone? Big, thick slices, I hope. She will kick the hell out of me. Yo, freedom of speech tonight. Yes, there's always freedom of speech tonight. Are we going to unite the clans so we can rid the land of Islam. We don't want to rid the land of Islam. This is the extremist side, and this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It's just the opinion of me. It's my opinions and these headers. I don't control these guys, YouTube, you know what I mean? I just read the comments out. Looking great, Freedom Dad. Not a day over 60, son. Get up there. Thank you, mate. I fucking feel a day over 60, so to be honest with you right now, mate. Okay, now, man, my wee legs have been walked off me today. Sick. But yeah, it's been a good laugh, I have to say. That's been a funny day. Very strange. Baker's out. Yeah, Stevie Baker is out. You know what I mean? He got it released, I think, at 1:30, so he did. I'm just waiting for him to put it up, you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't want to take anything away. It's like, there's freedom of speech unless you're on the same bus as Super Patcher. So yeah, Stevie, yeah, fair play to him, man. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it, couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, he's fucking fair play to him, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but like I say, I'm gonna wait till he brings it out. There's no point me going on about it, you know, because I don't know nothing about it. You know what I mean? You know, I am a man, and you know, stuff like that, and I don't. I'm not used to it. When I get fucking told to go in the dock, I'm normally being handcuffed into the dock, and I don't have much choice, you know what I mean? So it's not a situation I've ever came across, you know, but fair play to him. Judge said in the dock, he said no, you know what I mean? And he stuck to his ground. Even when he threatened to put him in jail, he still said no. So it wasn't as if it was a shock, you know what I mean? It wasn't if he didn't know what he was doing. BG, how you doing? Mr. Blonde 90, Big Bass Boom, Up Cop. What did Rankin ask? No, John Rankin he's an investigative journalist tonight. He's finding out if you're the real M&M. M&G. M&M, fuck's sake. Yeah, so, yeah, it's been a good day. So it has, like I say, I have got my other phone with me, guys. So, if anybody wants to message me and remind me anything I need to say, somebody's got the number. Foxy Lad, 40 Pants, Kirky, will the real John please stand up? No, it's definitely John Rankin. It's M&M we're not too sure about, because he went off the radar for a while there. John Rankin, it's him. That's good enough for me. Thank you, John Rankin. Welcome back, M&M. Where have you been? What have you been up to? Have you been watching secretly? You know? Somebody at the door. Somebody getting the door. Good man, Galloway. God bless all Patriots. God bless all Patriots is right. So yeah, guys, like I say, done the video with Glenn today. It's a wee bit fucking mental, you know. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And it's just mental over here right now, you know what I mean? You know, was in speaking with his lawyer for a good wee 15 minutes. You know, obviously I can't say any more about that. But it's mental. It's mental. Everything that's going on right now. It's one of them ones, guys, you know what I mean? Theo Isaac, Mathis Krang from Germany. Welcome in, my good friend. Hope you're doing good in Germany. I know you're getting it a bit tough because of Angela Merkel and what she's done to you. But, you know, we feel your pain here in Northern Ireland. God bless our Northern Ireland. I thought you were going to say Iron Lady. Right to be right, but who's that? But yeah, guys, what was I saying now? Yeah, it's all a wee bit crazy. You know, it's even hard to even explain these, because it's one of them ones that it's no point me going on and on about it, because at the end of the day, it's in a court of law, and these men have been charged and bailed and whatnot with conditions, and you know, you're not allowed to speak about any cases, and you know, and all that. So you know, it works very well in their favour to be corrupt. There's no two ways about it, and I'm going to call it out all day long. And you know, I am going to be getting interviews with some people soon, and I will be talking to them about it and asking what they can do about it to stop this. You know, that we need the chief constable, whoever, people at the top. You know, the government officials need to be aware of the liberties being taken by the judicial system in Northern Ireland against patriots. You know, you look at them, guys. these guys that you see with all these Land Rovers outside their doors were not getting arrested for firearms. They were not getting arrested for explosives. They were not getting arrested for GBH or, I'm telling you, these guys were getting arrested for hurty words. People claiming that they said something bad. You know what I mean? I swear to God, you can't make this up. Glenn's is because he was at a demo. You know what I mean? Down. Who's that? 2 seconds, guys. Come on. Here you go. Guard dog for the night. Yeah, Glenn was arrested because he was at a demo. You know what I mean? And the bottom line is, this is how it rules. This is how it worked. The newspapers stuck it all over it was headline news. And our favourite journalist in the Sunday World, Killer Kane, that was the headlines, fucking people are going to read that, aren't they? Like, and then it's like, fucking loyalist killer or whatever, whatever they wrote. I don't know, you know what I mean? And all the details, which isn't great to read, you know what I mean? And then look, he's at a far right demo, because that's what they call any demo that it's against mass immigration. It's far right, and anybody attends it, you're far right. So that's how that started. There was no complaint from any civilians. He'd never done nothing illegal, and they went and searched his house, and whatever they were searching for, they obviously never found. But they came across magazines, like I say. Everybody's got one, might even read one out to you one day. Might even just read one out to you. Who knows? And the guy that wrote it hasn't been arrested or anything like that, or has been arrested in questions, but he hasn't been charged with anything. And to be honest with you, like, guys, there's nothing in this that's not truthful. Simple as that. It's not nice to listen to for some people. And yes, some certain religions might feel a wee bit uncomfortable with it. But that's not our problem. It's not our problem. It's not anything to do with the law. There's no way the law should be getting involved because somebody gets a wee bit offended because the truth is being written on a pamphlet. That's not our fault. So that and memorabilia from Power Military days back in the day, this is what this man's up for, you know what I mean? Little badges and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it's quite funny, but it's quite serious because, the guy's going through what he's gone through. And whether you like him or not, guys, right? Whether you're Protestant, Catholic, whatever, at the end of the day, we're talking about justice for all. We're talking whatever happens to us in the justice system will happen to the Catholics in the justice system whenever it's their turn. Okay? It's as simple as that. This isn't just, it's the Protestants right now because we're the loudest. We're the biggest problem with stopping mass migration. We're the ones that are really out there because the Catholic community can't be as vocal as us because of the situation that they're in these areas, along with because Sinn Féin and dissidents and IRA still control some of these areas. And, that's the only reason why the Protestant Unionist Loyalist community is under attack right now from every direction. And that's just about mass immigration. It's about everything. It's about our flags. It's about the Irish language being pushed in the Protestant areas and onto council working vans where Protestants will be driving into Protestant areas and on boiler suits that Protestants will be wearing. And, they don't want it, and it's being forced upon us and we don't want it, you know what I mean? So that's something you've got to remember. There's no equality, there's no vote, there's no 7%, 6% of the population apparently are fluent in Irish. And I've already covered that, guys, you know what I mean? If anything comes up, guys, if anything comes up, sir, would you send me a message on my other phone, please? If I missed a comment, because I don't want to lose. Because I've sort of got it in my head. Like, I'm just telling you how my day went. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you how my day went. And like I say, talking about Glenn and his case, and we're talking about how people because Glenn is such a high profile and he has been involved in a manslaughter at an intersection with two Protestants and Catholics fighting. A man lost his life, okay? And I'm not minimizing it, and God rest his soul. and rest in peace. And I mean that genuinely, 110%. You know what I mean? But the thing is he's perfect for the police and the system to get somebody, so they can blame somebody. Oh, we've arrested somebody. He's in charge. He's the one that done it all. Now, Glenn is an absolutely amazing guy, but he's not a leader of men. He'll tell you that himself. He's not a. He's, you know, everybody knows Glenn will know that. Okay. Now, he is a victim. I'm gonna put that right out there. He is a victim right now because of what they've done to him. The amount of Land Rovers and everything that they've done to scrape the barrel with memorabilia and a pamphlet, you know what I mean, is absolutely ridiculous. To be lying on bail now for over a year. The bail conditions at the start, three times a week to sign on. In Lisburn, miles away from Belfast, wasn't allowed into his own city centre, right? And all he did was go to a demo that was put out for the 3 kids in Southport, and that was the demo where Protestants and Catholics came together, and there was a tricolour, and Coolock Boys came down, and there was Union Jackson. It was just, for somebody like me, it was nice to see. It was nice to see at a time like this, when everybody was hurting and feeling the pain of 3 innocent children being unalived by the radicalisation of Islam, while our government told us that it was a young Christian Welsh boy, and we don't know, like, basically saying it's nothing to do with terrorism, and anybody that even mentioned it was getting jailed. Then we found out that they knew within 24 hours that they found ricin in his house. So that was the big lie at the time as well, you know what I mean? Everybody knowing what was going on, the government telling us that we were far-right and racist to even think that, when all along it was the truth. So there was a lot of anger, a lot of people came out. The cops said putting mugshots up of convicted man rapists was a policy priority, so how can they justify busting a man for having a hobby? What policing purpose does that serve? 100%, man, 100%. I'll tell you exactly what it serves. It's serving the higher-ups, it's serving the mainstream government, you know what I mean, that work along with the mainstream media. They all work together. It's one big Fabian cabal, you know what I mean? And that's the most extreme way of looking at it. I'm not painting Tom Feather and everybody with the same brush. There's good journalists out there. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, there is good journalists out there, you know, mainstream journalists, but there's some rotten eggs amongst them. So, you know, that's what it's about. So let's get back to what I was saying. So they've got Glenn Kane, they've got the headlines, right? You know, he was a member of the BNP, quite openly admits that. But the BNP is not illegal, you know. So with all them little bits of recipe, they can come up with this pie. But when you eat this pie, it's disgusting. You understand? It's nonsense. So, but he's got to go through that now. You know, he's got to go through that. And because Glenn is the way Glenn is, you know, Glenn's the type of man that he'd probably be more disappointed that he doesn't get the jail. You understand? This is, I'm talking because he's my mate, so he knows that he doesn't mind this. All my mates and everybody around us will agree with me. You know, Glenn would be quite happy going to the jail, you know, because that's just the way he is. You know what I mean? He believes in what he believes, and if them beliefs are going to put him in prison, you know, get the kettle on. That's the way he is. So, but you know, the thing is just because he's like that, it doesn't take it away from the fact that it has. Sinn Féin are silent about the Irish flag being removed from lampposts in the south. They think they have a chance of a united Ireland. I will get onto that as well. So I'm just giving you a roundup, like, of my day, and being with Glenn, being with the lawyer, seeing him sign bail, having a chat with him, with a few mates. Had a really good day today, and yeah, and this is the truth. There's no misinformation here. He wasn't throwing petrol bombs. He wasn't throwing stones. There's no evidence of being ratting. This is it. They targeted him because of who he was. They went in with all the Land Rovers thinking they would get all sorts. And what were they left with? Memorabilia, a wee badge, and the magazine leaflets, you know what I mean? And yeah, so there's a lot coming out about that, and as it goes forward, I will cover it. And when hopefully the 1st of December, I think, is when we kick off, if it even kicks off, because, like, you know, it's nuts. And then, you know, you've got, so that's one thing that's quite serious. And I know a lot of guys, and like, because even the Republicans know Glenn, even the IRA boys know Glenn. I'm not going to name them, but all the famous ones all know him. You know what I mean? He's that well known. When they drive by, because there's a bit where they drive by, and if he's on the road, they'll shout him and all that, and he knows their names and all that. You know, these guys who grew up together, right next to each other, on a trouble intersection, where back in the days it was nothing but trouble every night, every weekend at least, you know what I mean? So they're right next to each other. They've got to drive through each other's areas sometimes. Well, mostly they've got to drive through the Shankill to get where they're going, or drive by the Shankill, you know what I mean? So this is the type of guy he is, you know what I mean? He's a brilliant guy, he's a funny guy, but at the end of the day, he has been in prison like myself. He's been through the troubles like myself. Born in the middle of it, the Shankill Road, you know what I mean? Just like me in the village. So I'm not making excuses, but you've got to see the whole picture, guys. You know what I mean? Because you don't see the whole picture, you know, unless you know the man. And I'm trying to let you know that. So that's what that was about today. So the reason why I put in the other clip, because the other clip was taken, we got that clip yesterday of the guy taking a photograph of the memorabilia. Well, you know, I mean, it's fucking, you know, you can't make it up. Like M16s, fucking Armalites, fucking Smith & Westerns, Colt 45s, Lugers, 9 mils. You know, I think there was even a Tommy gun in there with the barrel magazine. So yeah, and also they were going on about the Semtex. Now I don't know if that Semtex was real or not, to be honest with you. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't put it past them. But you know what I mean, hiding it in broad daylight, you know what I mean? But it does shows you the difference, you know what I mean? And you know, some people will say, but that's a museum, you know what I mean? It's fucking someone on the falls that they've made a room, you know what I mean? You know, Glenn's his wee cupboard where he kept everything was a museum, you know. You went around the Glens, he would get all the memorabilia out and you go, this was such and such, give me this, and this person's mum, give me this, and you know what I mean? And it is interesting, you know, some of this stuff's 50, 60 years old, you know, at least, you know, some at 40, 30 years old. So it means an awful lot to us all. It really does. It's something from our past, and it's not hurting anybody, you know. It doesn't bring any bad memories or bad hateful, and we don't want to go out and start attacking Catholics because we look at a bit of memorabilia. It's nonsense, you know what I mean? What about the Deputy Speaker at Stonemount? What about the crimes? Oh my God, can't make it up. Yeah, Davy. But yeah, so you had a really good day with some really good friends. Yeah, we had a laugh as well. Had a good laugh, and because we do like walking about. We walk about a lot, and the reason why we do it is to try and speak to the people, try and speak to who's on the street, people that live in the areas. You know what I mean? Shopkeepers and other people. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking to a guy today who's bringing the community together, you know, Protestants and Catholics. I'm not going to go into it too much, okay? I'm just going to keep it simple. And he's bringing them together, and there's an event, and I'm hopefully going to maybe get a chance to do a bit of filming, you know what I mean? Which will be difficult because, you know, because of the situation, but it's something that's happening on the Shankill, bringing, you know, what we would call our hardline youngsters with the hardline youngsters from the Republican side, and bring them together at an early age, and then interacting, doing some things with them, and then taking them all the way on holiday. Now, that happened to me. They done that with me years ago, but we didn't really mix with the Catholics, you know what I mean? It was a lot different then. They did try, and we went to Jersey. They took us to Jersey, you know, and we were all put into different families, but I don't know whether they were meant to be, like a Protestant was meant to be with a Catholic, or I don't know if my Catholic got ill or something, I don't know, but I was on my own, you know what I mean, so it wasn't really like that, but it is like that, from the biscuits to the tea, make Britain, okay, I'm not going to read that out, well, but thank you for that, mate. Yeah, so, yeah, say evening, the well, good friend of mine, be able to see me soon, no doubt, and yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so that's something that I'm going to be following up and looking into, because I think it's really interesting what I'm talking about. And like I say, these things happen for a reason. You know, I was introduced to him. Nobody knew what exactly. This was something. You know, he does quite a lot for the community, but this is something else. And we were just talking about, you know, what the problems we're having with, like, say, kneecap, Sinn Féin, the things that they're doing, like trying to split us all apart and create division. You know what I mean? And you know, then he was telling me about the work he's doing, and I just think it's amazing that we have guys out there doing this work. And you know, and I imagine you would like me to bring it to you, you know. So yeah, the whole thing is like I say, and the information I get, guys, the information that we get, the Freedom Dad team, you know, is second to none. Second to none. When you're talking to people on the street and they're talking about their mother's houses, right? Houses that they grew up in the Shankill, right? And they're talking about their houses, and there's, I think at one stage, I think there was 20 to 30 people in this house, you know, and totally destroyed now, you know, the whole street, you know. And I will be doing videos. I am going to follow up on this. It's one of them ones I've got to be very careful. My ma's Catholic, my dad was a prod, I'm a prod. My ma was stuck between me and my dad. 80s was rough in Northern Ireland. It was, Curty. But, you know, I have to be very careful. This is what I mean, guys. Look what happened to Pinky. You can't get anywhere near these guys, you know what I mean? As soon as you interact with these guys and they don't like it, they call you racist. They phone the police and tell them that you were harassing them. The police would then arrest me. I would get remanded, have to try and get bail. Even if I could get bail, probably wouldn't get bail because it's me, never had bail in my life. You know what I mean? So it's difficult to go into these areas. It's very dangerous for me. It's almost as dangerous for me to go into my own areas and my own streets that are now full of foreigners, and that's the truth, than it is for me, as much as it is for me to go into the Falls or Ardoyne or Divis. And I'm not exaggerating, it isn't misinformation, and I'm not bullshitting you. This is 110% fact. We are now in a situation in Northern Ireland where anybody that interacts with any foreigners in any way, like me on the boat, they go running to the authorities. You know, if they don't like what you're saying and they don't agree with you, they go running to the authorities. And that's the fact of it. You know, and it's just a man and a man having a conversation. But whenever if they're wanting to get into a debate with you, that's up to them to get into a debate with me. But at least whenever you lose the debate, you take it like a man. You say, well, they're valid points. You don't go running and make up stories about me. You know what I mean? And this is what's happening in East Belfast. You approach any man that's from another country or a Muslim, and he complains to the authorities that you were racist. The authorities will act on that man's word and arrest you and bail and get you on in the prison. Now that's not the problem, because we know we can beat the charges, okay? Because we're always filming and all the rest of it, and there's always witnesses. So we know in the long run these guys aren't going to go to court and go through all that hassle, the bullshit, you know what I mean? And but the problem is the bail. So they let you out in bail and they give you loads of conditions. Now if I did get out in bail, I wouldn't be able to get back on the internet. There would be no more Freedom Dad, and that's what they want. You know, so I have to be very careful, guys. We need the mad bastards up the north to kick this off so we can all get our country back from the oligarchs in the government buildings, right? No, you don't. No, you don't. We're doing our best, but I know we are a bit nuts, but we're not going to kick anything off, mate. You know what I mean? But thank you. The South has gone soft. It's not that the South has gone soft. They're having the same problem as us. We're now understanding why people are out on the streets in Ireland, because they've obviously... So we're 5 years behind Ireland. You've got to understand that. We're 15 years behind England. So basically, what's happening here today in Northern Ireland was happening in England 15 years ago. What's happening today in Northern Ireland was happening 5 years ago. It's just there was nobody coming out and telling everybody. There was nobody sitting down like me and going, this is what's going on. These men are being arrested on bogus charges, hit with fucking bail conditions, so it stops them going online. It stops them going to rallies. It stops them being around anymore. And fucking 2-3 men, Glenn said. 5 men for Pinky. Come on, guys. That's not justice. That's not a justice that we know. But the proof will be in the pudding. You know, the proof will be in the pudding, as I say, when the not guilty's rolling, you know, even if they go to trial, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's not something you can sit here and say. We can say with facts. We've got the video footage to prove what was said. We've got the video footage to prove what was done, okay? You know, and as simple as that. And what these men are saying was done, wasn't done. And if they had to just check the cameras from the fucking McDonald's straight away instead of arresting men and then sticking them out in bail and go, oh, we'll deal with it in a year. We'll deal with it in a year. We'll just leave them on. We'll just leave them out in bail for a year. You know what I mean? Nah, that's not right. It's not right. So yeah, that's what we're up against. But yeah, it's been a really good day. I just want to say as well to the couple that stopped at the lights. Thank you so much for the love. Okay, like so much love. We always get so much love. Every one of us, and everybody, all the guys that you know. I don't want to keep naming everybody I'm with, but you can imagine the boys that I'm with, and you know they're all working class celebrities. Let's be honest, they're all working class celebrities. So you know you go down most roads, East Belfast, Shankill, South Belfast, the Village, Donegal Road, Sandy Row. You're always going to get people shouting out cars and stopping us, shaking their hands, and all the rest of it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody in the Shankill today again. You know, so much love, so much love and respect, and to the couple in the car. You know, when just get it, stop, park up, right? Do everything safely, and you know, come and say hello. You know, because it was funny. Like I think they stopped at a set of lights, and I don't even think the lights were green, and it was a really busy junction. And they've seen me, they've stopped, and they're shouting, and I'm like cheers and all that, and really nice. And then the lights had went to red, and they went to go, and everybody was walking across the road. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? But no, it was all good. It was all good. But yeah, absolutely amazing. So yeah, what are you all saying, Dave? Oh boy, you sound like Darth Vader. You sound like Darth Vader. Listen to that. That's a plug for you. You want me to scratch his back? I'm not scratching his back. He's an old boy. You're an old boy, aren't you? You want your legs scratched. Feed him, Dad. Did you see No Risk No Reward with a video rapist on the run? You can't make it up, can you? You know, you can't make it up. They get bail, right? They get found guilty and still get bail. And then they wonder why they can't find them. Then they're asking us to find them, you know. And at first they wouldn't even put a picture of the guy up. There you go. We didn't put a picture of the guy up, and it was on the Nolan show. And this is the guy that was stalking women, and it's time when our children's children are suffering and will be kicking ourselves. We didn't do no more. James, please relax. We are doing everything we can. We're doing everything the right way. I promise you. I know it doesn't look like it, and it's one of them things that you listen to Freedom Dad. I'm telling you, relax. Everything's good. We've got this. You know what I mean? Please believe me. There's nothing else I can say. You know what I mean? It's just one of them ones that you're either going to see we have got it or we don't have it, and we've got this. You know what I mean? The men and women in Northern Ireland have got this. You know, trust me on that. You know, I am. The strip shirts was a bit overboard, Keith. I don't know what that was about. They're laughing at the Patriots. They are not laughing at the Patriots. Please believe me. The amount of times I've been in the paper, the amount of times we're all in the paper, the amount of times we're spoke about on journalists things, Nolan and everything else, and radio shows and TikToks, the amount of police that come for Patriots, you know, the amount of surveillance that we have. I mean, there's a Shankill Road today, police car up and down, watching us, right? And then all of a sudden, no police car. You know, so what they do, just like the old days, you know, they would take the marked cars out and they would bring the unmarked cars in with civilians, dressed as civilians. And that's how they monitor. They just go with the flow of the traffic. And that's what they do. It's non-stop. Non-stop. You know what I mean? And, you know, there we have a report of Nolan in a police car outside Pinky's house in the back of a police car. You know what I mean? So whether it's true or not, it's a reliable source. They never went to the door, but they drove up the street. They went and turned. People had a good look. They say it was definitely Nolan in the back of the car. So, you know, what are you doing at my mate's house? You know, we don't go to your houses. Don't go to our houses. Just keep it like that, you know, because I'm telling you, like, whatever you do to us, we'll throw it right back at you. Please, you want to keep filming us? We'll keep filming you. It's not a problem. We're all allowed to film each other, you know. And if you feel the need to sit there and film Patriots every time we go to peaceful marches, we will film yous. Simple as that. That's only fair, you know. We aren't terrorists. We aren't doing anything even close to what terrorists do. We're parents, we're concerned parents, we're mothers and we're fathers and the rest of it, and we're trying to find a solution to stop this madness from this traitorous government doing what they've done to England and Ireland to Northern Ireland. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal wrong with that. If he's wanna talk to me about it, he's wanna try and put me in court and put me through trial, I will defend myself to the hilt. I've got every reason. There's not a jury in this country or any country would find me guilty for being so concerned for the future of my children, of what I see in England and Ireland and what the governments are doing, what they're doing under the guise of diversity and equality. You know what I mean? It's, the crimes outweigh everything. You are watching No Risk, No Reward media. You must all be watching it. If you are watching me, you will be watching No Risk, No Reward. That's your go-to media. That's your media, guys. That's your news. Okay, if you want to know what's going on in the world, you go to No Risk, No Reward media. Simple as that. Every day he's reporting from Ireland of what's going on in Ireland. You've nowhere to go for England. You've got Dino Bean, you've got Past 45, you've got British Lauder. They're your go-tos. They're your media. You do not go anywhere near BBC, Sky News, Channel 4, because you'll not get that news. That's the news you need to hear. Simple as that. You don't need to hear the news of the new celebrity shows that are coming out, or the new charity run that's going on, or the wee dog that was lost, or the wee dog that run to tell the neighbours that the house was on fire. That's not the news you need right now, right? You need the news that's going on in the streets in the working class areas in Great Britain and Ireland, right? And you've got to source that news. With that knowledge, you've got every right to stand up and defend your country and your people, because you've got the knowledge, you have the information of what's happening, and nobody can tell you otherwise, because it's there, it's real, it's just being kept quiet from everybody. Simple as that. Everybody else that isn't aware of what's going on because they're watching Sky News and BBC, yes, they're going to think you're far right and racist. Yeah, they're going to think you've just got nothing better to do with your time. Don't worry about that. They will catch up. They will catch up. Do you know AY Audits? He's give you channel a shout out, bringing me here. Oh, thank you, Rocky B. Yeah, no AY Audits. He's a good lad. And yeah, I'm going to have to thank him for that. That was really nice of him. There's not many channels do that. At least he talks sense to him. Right, cheers, mate. The news is covering everything up. Yeah, 100%. And, this is the whole point. And this is the kind of thing that we can prove now. We have guys doing things that you don't realise. We can show when something horrific happens, right? We've got things set up right now on computers, right? So when something bad happens in Ireland or England or Northern Ireland, which is we've been keeping pretty safe right now, to be honest with you, we then have the exact same clippings from all the news. So you can go on to, there's certain websites you can go on to and you can get all the news in Northern Ireland and Great Britain, all that's happening, right? So we have the date of this crime, and then we have the news, the mainstream media news, and we can show every time the comparison of the sentence compared, and that's something that we would use in court. That's the kind of things that we're looking at to show that this is why we have fear. This is why we're afraid. When Nolan's bringing on Abdul and whatever the other guy, Muhammad, you know what I mean, and trying, going down that road of trying to make them victims and like we're all far right racist. Not caring of the consequences of our children and the women who are going to fall victim to these type of men that come in after these so-called victims that he's claiming that they are. Well, we don't know who they are. One guy was here and his wife and his kids were still over there. You know what I mean? And he admitted he was here for the NHS. Fuck's sake, man. We've got our own problems with the NHS. Don't you dare come over here and use our NHS. There's there's shitloads of countries around the world. We're struggling right now. Qatar, Israel, fucking Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Egypt, Iraq. They've got good doctors and nurses that can help other people out. Especially other Muslims. They're Muslim countries. So why come here and take up our resources? Why take the place of our children and our vulnerable who need the care, need the operations? It's nuts. Everything's nuts. You know what I mean? Everything is nuts. Every time they call us far right and racist, it just concretes exactly what we're saying of what they're doing and what the future looks like for us. Yeah, it's really frustrating. It's really starting to piss me off. Like, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that they do calm down. Obviously, I'm gonna be in the papers this week because of Ryan. You know what I mean? There's no two ways about that. But there's nothing I can do about that. ITV did the same after the synagogue attack. Interviewed one of the victims' neighbours. Have a guess who? Yeah, unbelievable. No, this is common now. They're doing everything they can to hide the truth of the damage and the danger that's coming by these men that they're letting in. You know, and you know, there's parts of Belfast I haven't shown you yet. We are doing we've got loads coming up, and you're in for a shock. You are in for a shock. That's all I'm going to tell you. Annette McCartney, Freedom Dad, do you follow Raja and Maja? If not, please do. Okay. Well, can somebody, one of my moderators, grab that and subscribe to it or something so you have got it and send me it. Send me the link. Yes, I'm a member of his channel. I'm a nurse and NHS is on its knees. I know, I fucking know this. Like, low morale among staff, very frustrating to see patients suffering while waiting. Geez, oh guys, if you knew the stories I could be bringing right now to you, there's so much. I've got nurses, I've got people in the care, I've got people in media, I've got so many people, so much information, and I don't know what to do with it. There's that much yet because, you know, evening all, a bit late tonight. That's okay, Kendall. We're still waiting on Wade. Wade's going to be a bit late tonight as well, guys. Your daughter's a nurse also. All right, no, yeah, you sub Raj, yeah. Okay, I'm going to look into that. I will, Annette. I will. That's what I'll do. I'll do that. I will do that. Invite Raja and Maya on. Samantha, the NHS is going to go private. Nurses are going to go on strike. It's a fucking absolute mess, an absolute disaster. The government, our government has made the biggest. See these private schoolboys and these millionaires, these clowns that get in the power just because they got money and they've been through university. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. It's ridiculous. They're the stupidest people in the world. They've got no street sense. They've got no idea about the working class. And they stand there with their shirts and ties on, destroying our country, thinking they know better, drinking champagne and eating caviar and living in fancy houses. It all needs to stop. And the people in Northern Ireland will stop it. You know, they think they're untouchable right now. But the more this goes on, the more people know, the more people are going to get angrier. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. See, when everybody does wake up, the first thing they're going to do is, I've been at fucking sleep all this time. But yous knew. Politicians, yous have known all this time. And that's what's going to happen, you know. All right, mate. PS Abusing the Powers, good to see you, bro. How you doing? Bradford Loyal, good to see you. Galloway Raider, Carrie Ann Smith. Sure, I'm having to do my own injections now because of the pressure GPS and nurses are under. Yeah, well, guys, listen. When my mother-in-law, when we ended up having to look after my mother-in-law, when me and my wife, I had to go and get training. Now, we had to... See, Jay, it's good to see you, bro. What's something you get? If that's where you're going. Even a dentist, the place is full of non-residents from the UK. I know, mate. I know, right to be right. But, like, you know, we had to. This is no word of lie, okay? This is no word of lie. For every single day, for at least 3 to 4 years, because then we worked out we could get respite. You know what I mean? But at least 3 years, we had to put the feed through a tube, water through a tube, 2 different bags in the machine set at different times, and put our medication through a tube twice a day. Every single day. We had carers come in twice a day who done cleaned her and changed her and everything, got her to the bed, got her up. But the family had to administrate the medication. On New Year's or Christmas, I can't remember what one it was, she pulled the peg out right out of her belly. And I had to insert a new peg. I had to go onto YouTube because they couldn't send nobody out to do it. And this is on my mother's grave, right? Now, I'm a bit squeamish when it comes to this. When you've got a woman with a hole in her belly and a tube that you've got to work out how to get in, put water in it a certain way so it fills up like a balloon inside so it can't come out, and then turn it another way so you're able to put food into it so it bypasses the nightmare. Fucking nightmare. Now, why should a bank robber like me, somebody like me, have to be, so much responsibility? You don't understand. I've never been responsible for anybody in my life. You understand that? I'm an orphan, no family. What I mean. I've got I've got Colin, my foster family came in when I was a bit like older, 15, 16. But my brother, they've always looked after themselves. They've never, he's self-sufficient. You know what I mean? He's got a family and doesn't need me. But I'm his brother, and I love him. He loves me and all that, obviously. But I have never been responsible for anybody, and then all of a sudden that was landed on my lap. So that's the world we live in today. Okay, that's the world we live in today. I wouldn't put a dog in care. We care for our own risk of elder. Keith, yeah, had the rings, sting, pal. I don't even want to know. Don't even want to know. No, it's not. It is terrible. It's not like you do it because you love. It's my mother-in-law. It was like it wasn't like another mother. She was, and I would have done it. It wasn't a big deal. And when you're doing it because you care and you love, and it's not hard or difficult. You got to understand that bit. You know what I mean? It's not till you're doing it for 5 years, and you start to feel it. The constant. Obviously, we got respite, and then she could go somewhere for a week. But then after 4 or 5 days, she'd want to come home. So you couldn't have any plans, you know what I mean? And it was just constant, a lot of pressure on the family. And, like I say, I lost my wife. Could it have been the stress of looking? They say when you're caring for somebody, most people that do the caring die before the person they're caring for because of the stress and the worry. Because you got to understand, it is a lot of responsibility. If anything had went wrong, if I had made one mistake, could you imagine what the papers would have done? Could you imagine it? For me, that's how I felt, because I'd already been in the papers. This isn't my first rodeo being in papers. I've been in the papers for the banks. You know what I mean? So it was a worry. It is a lot of pressure on families, and if you don't do it, she's got to go into a home. Wilma, you got to go into a home. I don't want to go into a home. If you put me in a home, I'll die. Okay. She doesn't want to go into a home. Right, you have to do it. Okay? That's where we're at. This is my father. Okay, our first. That's right, Freedom Dad. I used to work in healthcare with dementia. Yeah, and I'll tell you as well, she had MS, and her brain was all right. She was getting a bit bad near the end, but MS, it's the muscles. It's a muscle deteriorator, you know what I mean? So eventually she couldn't move at all. A wee bit of movement in one arm. Get down, son. Go on, over there. Here. Give me my boy. You've just drunk loads of water, and you're going to drip it all over me. Lie down. Yeah, it's listen. I don't want to go on to that. There's other stuff I want to talk about. Just to run as well. It was that you might be saying probably Madison's testimonial last night in East Belfast, and wow, it just blew me away. It blew me away. It was an amazing. I'm not going to go into it, you know what I mean, too much, because I'll maybe stick a link up sometime, or maybe get a chat with him, see if there's anything he wants to do, if there's anything I can do for him on the YouTube channel. He's done a lot of work in prisons and like work. He's done a lot. He's done an awful lot, and he's an ex-paramilitary who has came out the other side, and he's just an amazing guy, and is an amazing speaker, and he really captures you. You know what I mean? It's one of him. You really listen to him, and it was a really good night, and had curry, and it was among some amazing guys, and was able to catch up with a few guys as well. It was really, really good. So a really good night last night. Like I say, that's why there was no live, non-stop. Then this morning, up crack at dawn, well, early enough, then got picked up then in the Belfast, and then the court case, you know what I mean? So and it says don't go into nursing for money or shit. Yeah, and I just want to finish on this, and this is a stickler with me, and I'll never budge. If any politicians, anybody I ever can speak to, I will always say, It's probably the biggest. It's probably even bigger than stopping them from voting. It's stopping them from caring for our elderly. Okay, that's one of the most important things to me. That I do believe that Northern Irish people that have got dementia or Alzheimer's or just needing looked after because they're old, they're in their 70s, 80s, 90s, should be looked after by Northern Ireland folk. And I think we need to get that into legislation or social policy or wherever the fuck whatever it is they need to do. But it's something that isn't racist, it isn't far right. It's something I want. I want to be looked after by locals. Is that what you want? I think that's the kind of question we should be asking. We should be asking the people, what do you want? Okay, do you want people to come from Nigeria, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan to look after you? Or do you want locals to look after you? It's not far right or racist to ask that, right? We've got evidence of malpractice in care homes, and I do believe it's because there's no connection there. You know, they don't look at our elderly and think that looks like my granny or that looks like my granddad or they've been through the troubles or they've been down the coal mines or they've been doing this or they've been in the steel or they've been in the shipyard, and they don't have none of that in their heads because they're not from here. And that's important. Okay, that's important. Then the voting's important. It's between the two of them, like, to be honest with you. Do yourself a favour. Do yourself as a future politician. Do you see no, Jeremy Simpson? I don't. I'm sorry, mate. It's not something. I've said that from the start. I'll never wear a shirt and tie. Like, I'm a working class boy I'm a working class lad who has been brought up in the street, and I love my working class people, and I love being on the street, and I love doing what I'm doing. The thought of going into Parliament, or even the thought of that madness of even rubbing shoulders with somebody, it's just not for me. It's not for me. I want to have a laugh with the boys. I want to push the boat out a wee bit, go up the line, up to the line, but not cross it. You know what I mean? I want to relax. I don't want to have to live a certain way because I've got to behave a certain way because you're expected to. I'm Freedom Dad. I'm here to report what's going on in Northern Ireland, and that's as far as it'll ever go. I've seen two people going into the house a few weeks ago, two care workers, and it was a woman. It would have been a no for me. If I was a woman, it would have been a no for me. Are you the new Nolan? Yes, 100%. That will like it's not even no. Nolan, the citizen journalists that you're going to see coming up on YouTube and other TikToks and other platforms and X and all the rest of it are going to be better than Nolan. We're not going to be sitting there like just pondering and making sure that we're only saying the things that somebody above us is telling us to say. You're going to have your choice of citizen journalists. You're going to have different types of citizen journalists, different styles, different shows, and down to you. But the selection is going to be massive going forward, without a doubt. Whoever likes can look down at me, but I'll never look up at them. What's happening? Let's see, we're hanging a wee bit. What's the visual like, guys? I just could do something here. Reload this. I've lost my chat. Connecting. We're back. Bubblegum dead on. So I've lost all my chat, guys. Sorry. That's froze. Is it? No, it hasn't froze. Still here. Happy days. All good. All good. Smash that like button, guys. Thank you, CJ Audits. Thank you, man. It was good seeing you today. So it was good seeing you today, mate. Came across a channel that's good live footage from channels and recently. It's called Local Team. Did you see the school in England locked down yesterday? Men and Bob Glasgow went playground. I haven't seen it, mate, no. But yeah, this one, like I say, guys, it's been one of them. It's been like I say, it's been a lot going on the last couple of days. Yesterday was the baby's party. How can I forget that? Happy birthday, Dalton. He's won yesterday, and well done, Caitlin. absolutely amazing job she put on, like, and everybody, all the family, and he was absolutely spoiled. He's got a trike, he's got a Mercedes Benz wee car drive on. You got the wee buttons for, and loads of the other stuff. And yeah, it was really nice. And my wee Lucky's going to be one in a month. You know what I mean? So yeah, happy first birthday. Yep. He's a wee cracker. He is absolutely gorgeous. You know what I mean? He just melts your heart. He really does. Um, and he's always laughing. He's always smiling. As soon as he sees, he's got his arms like that, wanting a cuddle. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was yesterday, and I was trying to. I wanted to do a video with Caitlin. I never done it. Like, I really annoyed at myself because I had to get down to the east for the testimonial to all the lefties watching. Yeah, is there any lefties on? Is there no trolls on tonight? No trolls. Have you been hammering the trolls, guys? Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Thank you. Oh, nice one, Lady J. Super Patsy was Sean Kelly. Yeah, you could have something there, Davey. How did you know we were on the milkshake, Stuart Finlay? He's been talking. Yes, we always get milkshakes when we're in the Shangle. You'll always see us walking up the Shangle with our milkshakes. Yeah. It was a bit of a cold day for a milkshake, to be honest with you, but they are dynamite. They are dynamite. British Stand is on 20-30 minutes ago, apparently on X. I'm just reading your comments on the telly, guys. I'm not being rude. I've got the. It's the best way to do it rather than getting horrible glasses I've got. Shangle milkshakes. Bring Freedom Dad to the yard. Don't fucking the left will do a video. They will do a video. For fuck's sake. Just out of Jim. How you doing, Wade? Good to see you, mate. Yes. Mr. Blonde, are you chatting up our show check? No, yes, he's over there. He's just cleaning himself and what dogs do. Andrea's milkshakes used to be good. But yeah, it's permitted. You can, if you can, you can put it up. Of course, you can. Anybody wants to put links up, you know what I mean, to any other Patriots, you can do it. I was talking to you, it said my garden. Of course, sorry, mate. Of course, yes. Did you get the top of the thing on? Yeah, like I say, guys, Stuart, one of the Shankill boys that we were talking to, and this is what we do. This is what we do. We interact. We don't just like, you know, we were all, basically we don't go out of our way to do these things, but because we were at the court case and then we were waiting to see what happened to Stevie, then we done a video outside the court, didn't get the sound right, and then I thought, then he went to sign bail, so I done the video outside Musgrave Police Station. So then we needed to drop. We were going to drop him off back because Glenn just walks everywhere. He doesn't care. He's well known, and I keep saying to him, stop going out on your own. You know what I mean? And he doesn't listen. So we were dropping him back to Shankill, and just took an opportunity to speak to a few people while we were there. It was brilliant. Right. Good night, Aaron first. First. Yeah, but this is the thing, guys. You know what I mean? This is what you gotta remember. This is the short and sweet of it all. Okay? It's as simple as this. Sinn Féin are hated. Sinn Féin are despised by the Catholic community. Now, yes, there's going to be hardliners in the Catholic community that will never back down from the Republican side of things and hating on Protestants and anti-British, okay? But that group of people's getting smaller and smaller. Okay, bigotry is shrinking in Northern Ireland. Please believe me, it's shrinking in Scotland as well. You know, it's shrinking on every level. Like a lot of people say about Protestants and loyalism, the Orange Order and the fruit bands and how in Liverpool they're dying away, in Scotland they're getting smaller. But you got to understand that it works both ways. It's not just the Protestants, okay? It's the Catholics as well. People do not have the stomach for it anymore. So when you've got Sinn Féin driving this hatred right now and poking the Protestants to try and get a reaction to cause division between the two religions, the Catholic community see this. Please believe me, they know what's going on. The Catholics know exactly what's going on. They just can't be as vocal as us. They just can't come out with us, you know what I mean? But that will change sooner rather than later, you know? Am I buffering, guys? Let me know if I'm buffering, because I've lost your messages again. No. Must be just here. No? Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, it must be just here. Okay, we're back. Okay, connecting the live chat. I'll be up any second, guys. Come on. Yeah, it's not connecting. Why are you not connecting? Unable to connect. Let me try reloading this, guys. Honestly. It's probably because it's running too long. Is there a check away the bed? Come on. Yeah, I'm having problems with this, guys. Just trying to connect. If it doesn't connect, I'll get my other glasses. YouTube. Playing games with Freedom Dad. Right, okay, here we go. Someone recap this whole bus shelter court story for me, please. No, I haven't got the energy to do that, mate. Freedom Dad, what do you think of Jonathan Buckley? Yeah, Jonathan Buckley seems to be saying the right things, you know what I mean? You know, but like I say, I'm not going to call him out because I like the guy. But, you know, it's all right saying what I'm saying. We need more than that. You need to say more than what I'm saying. Posting link not coming up, then seems like I got timed out. Anyway, British Star on YouTube. Yeah, I seen that, mate. Something not right in chat. You won't get timed out, Kendall. You shouldn't get timed out. Nobody else can time you out. You're well known. The TV keeps freezing, so it does. So I'm losing the chat. The Irish language is equal to the English language in Ireland. Unionism will lose this argument, and rightly so. Judgment Day, do not go away. Unable to chat. Fuck's sake, man. Honest to fuck, man. It's one of them days, guys. Honestly, I'm fucking it's so frustrating. You know, whenever you're working really hard and you're doing so much, and when silly wee things don't go right, it drives me insane. You know what I mean? So give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab a coffee. I'm gonna stay on for a wee bit, so I am tonight. Yeah, I'm losing all. I'm not seeing them right. Don't be putting any more chat up, guys, because the last one I got was judgmental, and I want to reply to that one. So I'm glad it's stuck there. So give me 2 seconds. I want to stick the kettle on. Grab my other glasses, and then turn this nonsense off, because that's not working. And I'll be able to read your chat straight from here. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Oh, you want to sit up there and be start the show? Yeah? You want to sit up there? No, you'll just follow me everywhere, won't you? Talk amongst yourselves. Nick, did you burn your pizza? Smells like burnt pizza. Did you burn your pizza? Did you burn it? Smells like it was burnt. You want this later, kid? Yeah? No, Ben, it smells like you burnt pizza. Well, you can hang about with the cats for a bit. You're a lot happier than over the cats, so you are, aren't you? Oh, that's good. That is good. It's good because I can leave yous. It is. I can leave yous and you can chat away. Like a wee dating stage. Chatting each other up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go home with somebody. I'm going to put that back on because there's more light from that. Okay, here we go. Can I leave and some think I'm daft? I can leave and some think I'm daft. Don't know what that means. I should check. Got a nice young fella. Yes, Freedom.73, how you doing? I have to bounce, no problem, Jerome, my boy. Sorry I missed you, maybe earlier on, Karen Smith. One's enough, Freedom Dad. One's enough, what? Thunberg looks like He-Man with a haircut. Goodfellas pizza is in the oven or what? Well, it was in the oven, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can smell it. I can smell the remnants of it. So, what was that comment? Put that comment up again, mate, please. The one about the Irish language. They'll rip you a new one. Yeah, definitely, like. I mean, because even that's ridiculous, you know what I mean? We're not talking about something that's even debatable. This is the best about it, you know what I mean? It's crazy, like. Yeah, bring it on. Even the chat of an All Ireland, you know. Let me tell you something, guys. Right? This is to the dissidents and the hardliners. You know, yous are nuts. Yous are absolutely nuts if you think the good people of Belfast either Protestant or Catholic. You know, obviously more Catholic than Protestants. You know, but there might be some Protestants that might be thinking about an All Ireland. I don't know, but right now, In 2025, you're off your nut if you think for 1 minute there's Catholics that are going to vote for an All Ireland right now with what's going on in Ireland, because I know the Catholics will be getting more information. That was conditions of the Good Friday Agreement. Yeah, no, I get that, mate. I get there was a lot of conditions in Good Friday Agreement. That all needs addressed as well. Many of us Catholics don't want to be in Ireland in that right time. Exactly. But, this is, I'm fucking telling you, like, you must be crazy if you're going to keep pushing that rhetoric. There's not a sensible, sane man or woman in this country, in the 6 counties, look at Ireland and think there's anything attractive about being united with that. And that's not nothing to do. I love the Irish. I've been down there, I don't know many times, getting hugs and kisses and love and fed and pints of Guinness bought for me by Republicans, by Irish, like the Republic of Ireland, the Southerners. So I promise you, they don't care about it. They keep people in West Belfast are looking at Ireland and going, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Fuck, if we think the British were bad, what the fuck's the EU doing in there? So that's the truth of it, that's the facts of it. There's no getting away from that. And Sinn Féin are relying on the foreigners to vote for them. They get this. They get use Catholics, guys. This is what's going to happen to you if you aren't very careful. Sinn Féin don't care about you because they know that you have worked it all out now. They're concentrating on the hardliners that are left, the dissidents, the ones that fucking Brits out, foreigners in. We don't care what happens to our kids in 40 years' time. No, them ones. They're the ones that will be voting for Sinn Féin, along with the foreigners, And I'm telling you now, Sinn Féin are working very hard to get 1 million Palestinians over here, because that's 1 million votes, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is where we're at, you know what I mean? And if anybody wants to debate me on this, if there's anybody out there that who is a dissident or a Republican and wants to come on with a balaclava, even, that you sit down and like be genuine. I'd need to speak to you and know a bit about you, and I would never tell anybody who you really are or anything, but you'd need to prove to me that you're somebody that knows what you're talking about. You're more than welcome to come on here and hide your face and debate me about an All Ireland and about everything. And it's going on in 2025. Now, I'm not interested in the past and Easter uprising and all the rest of it and Bloody Sunday and all that, right? I'm not interested in that. The courts are sorting that out. That's nothing for me to sort out. That's in the past. I'm dealing with today and tomorrow. Okay, simple as that. There's no point talking about the past because the past is done. There's nothing we can do about it. There's collusion on both sides. There was a lot of bad stuff done on both sides, and we're best just leaving it right there. Let's talk about today and the future that you want and the future that I want, and try and find a way of getting some sort of resemblance of the two futures, without doing any damage to our children and our country. And that's the kind of conversation I want with these guys, because it would be very interesting. Wouldn't it be very interesting to get a dissident, one of them Palestinian guys that are at the fucking demos and also support the IRA and Hamas, and get them on here and explain to us, and just have a chat. You throw some questions at me, I'll throw some questions at you, and let's get to the bottom of it. Let's see what makes the old mind tick. Why do you get today in 2025 that you think it's reasonable to bring foreigners into our country with the evidence of what's going on, and also what you see in Ireland, how the government in Ireland are treating the citizens, what they're doing to your flag, your fucking tricolour, you know what I mean, for fuck's sake. That's what you want. You want to join that, do you? You think you got problems with us with flags. Wait till you join Ireland and they're telling you that your own flag's far right, you know what I mean? So they'd be the kind of questions I'd be asking these guys, you know what I mean? These are the guys that fucking bitterly hit me, you know what I mean? And I've still got no hate for them. I understand why they get on the way they get on. I understand the psychology of it. But in 2025, I want some answers. I want some explanations. It's not a lot to ask, you know what I mean? This cat's saying 840. When it happens, being Union Jacks be removed from Belfast entirely if the union ended. When it happens, will Union Jacks be removed from Belfast entirely if the union ended? That's a very good question, because I think with the union would go the union flag. You know what I mean? It is a tricky one, because it's not just gonna go overnight. It's gonna go like 40% foreigners, 60% British, English, then 50-50, then 60 foreigners, 40 English, then 70-30. You know what I mean? Hello. Hello, you. What's happening? You're live on YouTube. You're live on YouTube. You're live on YouTube. Look. Right, you're going to behave. We're talking serious stuff here. We're talking serious stuff here, right? You love your dad. Give me a kiss. Kiss? I get a kiss? No? Kiss? You came in there like as if you were the police. I thought I was getting raided. I thought you were a police dog in first. The rest were coming in after you. There you go. Yeah, the Union flag. So this is, if you don't know about the Union flag, a lot of people believe, English, Scottish and Northern Irish folk, believe the Union flag is the deep state. And instead of us being all independent and working with each other and trading with each other and being friends and, you know, everything, the Union Jack and the Union was created to control us all. Just like Protestants and Catholics, you know, their way was split us all up, create division, you know, keep the division there, easier to control, you know what I mean? Whereas if we were just left alone, then we would have all our own, we'd make our own decisions. They wouldn't have control over everybody. So, you know, there is discrepancies in legal systems with Scotland and Northern Ireland, and not everything's exactly the same. But in general, the union's the union. And that's what people think. People think that that's the problem. The problem is the union. They are the deep state. The people who created the Union Jack are the people who are causing all the problems today. And if we were all separated, we could all deal with each thing individually and help each other, you know. So like if we were independent, Scotland was independent, not Ireland and all that, then we could send, because we're okay. We're doing okay. We if we went independent, and this is just talking, you know what I mean? You know I'm a unionist, you know what I mean? But I like throwing these things out there. So then we could say to England, okay, we're going to send so many men over there to help you. We're going to send so many men over there, police and army, over to help you deal with what you need to do. Many do you need? What, in our 20 airplanes to get these guys out? Right, here you go. There's the manpower, there's the airplanes. Same with Scotland. Scotland would chip in. You know, everybody, Wales would chip in. And that's the way it would work. That's the way I see it working. You know what I mean? So England would vote and say, no, we don't want this. And we would, because we don't have it. Scotland would be on top of their game. Wales would be on top of their game. So we would be like, okay, we'll help you. Because we're neighbours, we're friends. There's nothing, there's no difference in us all. We just have different governments, you know what I mean? We have different laws and different governments. And each community, each citizen in each area, like Northern Ireland, Scotland, they create their own laws, you know, that suits them, the people that's there, you know what I mean? I know it all sounds a bit nuts, but that's what people think. People think the Union Jack is the deep state. They are the ones that created all this and started all this and divided each bit up. That's what they call it. And they put it like the Union Jack, the red, England, the blue bit, Scotland, you know. Yeah. You can see where people go with it. Maybe a bit of conspiracy theory. I don't know. I haven't got the answers. I want Northern Ireland to stay in the Union. Of course you do, mate. Scotland is still under Roman common law. Bradford loyal, of course I will. Farage will end the union. Farage will end everything. I was talking to a guy today, and you know, this is what I say to people, because it's too much for me to go right in, you know. So when people say to me, oh, Farage is going to sort it out, because I get loads of people that come up, especially in Northern Ireland, not so much English people, because they know the score. Oh, nice one. I'm learning every day. I listen to you. Cheers, mate. Reform is full of Tory and Labour rejects. Exactly. So this is what I say to people when they come up to me and they're all excited about reform and they're telling me that Nigel Farage will sort it out. You know, and I say to them, like, because it's hard. You know, it's you got to understand this is their only hope. You know, and then I say to them, listen, he's not. And I goes, they're going to be worse than Labour. And then they look at me and I can see them starting to doubt, oh, fucking this guy's full of shit. And I'm like, you know, let's hear me out, mate, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I want to direct you to a YouTube channel. Winston Marshall, his name is. And I want you to look at the Winston Marshall interview with Nigel Farage and listen very closely to what he says, because that's the man there. Not the man that stands at the podium in front of everybody on the reform thingy and going, when we get in the power, we are going to deport anybody that comes into this country illegally. From the moment he gets in the power, he's saying he's going to deport anybody that comes in illegally from that moment. Not the millions that have already got in, they're here to stay. Okay? And if they're here to stay, you're in trouble. Don't give a fuck what anybody says. England is in trouble. In 20, 30 years' time, all these people that are going to be allowed to stay are going to have children, and that's when you're going to see a big change in demographic and a change in the voting system, and they're going to lose complete control, and there's going to be all sorts coming out. You're going to have more Sharia courts, more mosques, and Islamophobia laws coming out. Simple as that. There's going to be more Muslims in power. There's going to be more Muslim Lord Mayors, and there's going to be more cities and towns completely transformed. Okay, that's what you've got in 30, 40 years' time. Guaranteed. Nobody can argue with that. You just need to sit with a calculator and work it out yourself. And taking into consideration there was more people dying than there was having children. So, when you look at the Winston Marshall and Nigel Farage interview, he makes it clear that he cannot deport a million. You can't deport a million. There's nothing we can do. They're here. And he also says if we don't take Islam with us, we're in trouble. Okay? So I then tell him this. How many political leaders have you seen having their own slot on a mainstream broadcaster ever in your life? And why do you think he's there? Why do you think Nigel Farage has not only got his own mainstream slot on mainstream media, GB News, right? But Tommy Robinson can't get on there. Ben Habib hardly goes on there. Rupert Lowe can't get on there. Nick Tononi can't get on there. You know, Paul Golding certainly can't get on there. And they're the people who are really going to save the country. They're the people who are wanting the end of immigration and the remigration of the people that came in illegally under the Traitors government. So why do you think the people that want what you want done can't even get on GB News, but yet the man that you think is going to do everything is sitting there with his own slot? Come on, guys. This has been the biggest con that we will ever know or see in our history in politics. We are faced with Labour who have totally failed the people, and this is the trick. This is the trick that they've pulled. They've realised well before we've realised that this is the last time Labour will ever be in power. Now, I've done videos going back 9 months, over a year obviously, but around about 9-10 months ago, I done a video stating that Labour will never be in power. I never said Labour were finished or Labour won't get in again. I said they will never be in power ever again in this country. And I'm sticking to that. Labour will never be in power ever again in England. 110%. And the people at the top who control Labour, control Stormer, right, to tell everybody what to do, to bring out digital ID, all the rest of it, fill the place with fucking foreigners, then people at the top have realised that. So then they're faced with a problem because they know Labour has lost all support of the people. They know that they're never going to get voted in again. So what do they do? What would you do? Now, you've got a heads up. You've got people working. You've got fucking really clever people because you're the richest people in the world that control everything. Control everything. But you need the people controlled. And the only way you can control the people is with the political party who they vote in. Okay? Common sense. Now, stick with me. So they're thinking to themselves, what the fuck did we do? Labour's fucked it. We fucked it with Labour. They're never going to get in again. Never mind winning another election. And then we've got Tommy Robinson, got Ben Habib. They're fucking, they're growing. Look at three, you know, they'll have seen, they know how much people are going online. They know how much right wing. They know a lot more than we do because they've got the data. They own all these sites. They've got the data. They know exactly what the wave of right wing political movements that are coming on, and political activists and political YouTube and TikTokers are flooding online right now. They know that. So they know they've got a big problem because the only way they can control it is by controlling the left. If the right get in, they're fucked. Because we will know all the secrets. We will know everything that's happened in the past. we will learn everything, right? So what we've got now is a situation where they've targeted Farads, they've got reform going, they've told Farads to kick it off as a right wing. Because if you remember at the start, he was proper up against it all and going up against immigration, and he was our hero. And then all of a sudden, he came out and he called Tommy Robinson a wife beater. The exact same time Piers Morgan did, and a couple of other far lefters did. That was the first attack. The first attack was actually on his bank. That was the top attack in his bank. Remember? His bank got hit. That was the shot across the bow for Nigel Farage, because he was probably going, oh, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? And I don't think they've got photographs on him like Starmer and the rest of them. I reckon it was money. Money. They knew how to get Farage was the money. So they attacked his bank. That was a shot over the bow, and then everything changed. Anybody who supported Tommy Robinson wasn't allowed into the conference. Paz 49 wasn't even, an ex-veteran wasn't even allowed into this conference. Okay? They kicked everybody that was right-wing out, and they're now saying that they're now everybody's joined and paid their dues. They're now saying, oh, we're not right-wing, we're centrist. The reason why they're saying they're not right-wing and they're now centrist is because they want the Muslim vote. Okay? Simple as that. And that's why he's saying we've got to take them with us. That's what he means, is we need them to vote for us. So reform in the future, once the Reform are the next political party, they will be in next year. I'm sticking by that. And they will be in for the next 4 years, because the people at the top who run Reform and GB News and all the rest of it do not want a right-wing party growing and establishing itself and being a threat against Reform when it comes to the power. They can't wait another 3 years, because the right will be mobilised and ready. Okay? They can't. They won't. They know the right. The Nigel Farage Reform, people are starting to see right through it. So they need to get this through quick. They need to get Reform in power quick, because that gives them another 4 years at the top. The people that run everything, that gives them another 4 years. Another 4 years of doing what they've been doing for the last 15 years. Please believe me. That's the plan. The plan is not to stop mass migration, because it's never been Tories or it's never been Labour's game. It's never been their power play. It's the people above them, you know. So they really need this to continue for what they need to do, you know, as we see. And yeah, that's reform. That's and I'm going to tell you this now, and you can take this to the bank. Nigel Farage will be the next Prime Minister, but he will only be Prime Minister for 3 months, and then he's going to step down under health reasons. I don't know who's going to, maybe Zia Yusuf will become the next Prime Minister. I don't know. But remember this, Nigel Farage let us all down at Brexit. He walked away. He's going to do the exact same thing. He just wants the badge. He wants a Stone Island badge, you know, of being a Prime Minister. And once he gets that, that's him. He's not interested in any of this. You know, he hasn't got the stomach for any of this. He's doing what he needs to do. He's been told, all you got to do is run Reform, convince the right that are asleep that you're the man, and make sure the real right don't get in power. If you do that, God knows what he's going to get back from these people. You know what I mean? God knows what rewards he will get. But that's Nigel Farage, that's Reform, and that's the biggest con in politics that we'll ever see in our lifetime. And I'm telling you guys, that's just a wee bit that I know. If you were to really research it and look into it and start looking at all his interviews, there's a lot more out there. There's a lot more out there, you know. And like I say, you've just got to research it, guys. It's there for you. Anybody can do this. Mark Neville, thanks for putting Freedom Dad's views up. What did Mark Neville do, guys? Did I miss him? Mark Nolan, where are you? Come on, come back on. I'm in the mood for you tonight. Like, I'm in the mood for trolls tonight, guys. I truly am. Like, it's just fucking. You know when nothing goes right for you? They left my battery pack. I had like 0% on my phone. Promised alive at 7:30 on a video, or I wouldn't have done it, because I had to fucking run about like a header there. So have we got a troll on, guys? Is there any left wingers there hiding in the background that want to come on and slabber Freedom Dad? Hit me. Hit me with your hard facts and your ideologies. Plenty watching. Oh, I know that. But you know, I would like our politicians to be like me, you know, full of confidence. You know what I mean? Um, Jamie Bryson, full of confidence. You fucking just take one look at him, man, and you hear him speaking. You know he's on the button. And some people don't. He's like Marmite, I think, as well. Some people like him, some people don't. But I'm noticing a big change. I am noticing a big change. You know what I mean? I know people that really don't like him, that are like, did you see that video? I'm like, yeah, you know, told you he's good, eh? So I just wish all my politicians were as confident and brave as people like me, Jamie Bryson, and Ron McDonald, and all the other YouTubers and TikTokers are sticking their head over the parapet, because there's nothing wrong with it. I did ask you to do me a favour, but you were too busy talking. What is it, Judgment Day? Hit me with it. I'm all yours. I'm all yours. But yeah, it's there. The facts are there. Don't be afraid. Fucking take it right on. Head on. Go for it. Tell them straight it's not happening in Northern Ireland. Tell them straight the people don't want it. Tell them straight we don't want Islam in our country. Tell them straight we know what damage it done. Tell them straight we don't want mosques. Tell them straight we don't want halal meat on our shops. Tell them straight we do not want Sharia courts in our country. Tell them straight we do not want any horrific crimes happening to our children or our women by any man that's came from a foreign land. Tell them straight. That's all you got to do, you know. It's what the people want. It's what the people want. What's this about you being told not to be back in Sandy Row? Yes, well, I don't know what to say about that, man. You know what I mean? Don't know where you get your information from, but yeah, I'll probably recheck that. But it must be something better than that, because that's just silly. You know what I mean? That's just being silly. Kendall, I've been here for ages. Galloway Raider. Seems like the crowd are seeing through you and Baker Boy. The crowd. Who's the crowd? Your crowd. I know, boy. Like we're going to worry about your crowd. Ashtray. Come on, guys. You got to do better than that. And stop picking on me, Baker Boy, man. He's my mate. You know what I mean? He's not here to defend himself. I'm here picking me. The problem is with the girls too, how they raise some migrants over us natives. Any lefties want to ask where Bangor's flags are, please? I think they were taken down because of the storm. It wasn't to do with lefties. I'm sure it was taken down because of the storm, guys. It was right the day before the storm. So it was. His name is just missing the M. Must be a shinner trader. Ugh. Another crusade is needed. Right, Judgment Day. I would like you to interview a lovely lady up here in East Belfast, Linda Irvine. Asked her about the Irish language. It's important. Its importance and who protected it during penal times. What's penal times? How far are you going back now? Judgment Day, we're not going back. Right? We're not going back. Penal times? Penitentiary times? Penal's prison, is it not? Please hit the like and share button. Thank you, Maz. Hi, 15, is that your mental age? 15, what's 15 said? Was this guy that's coming on slabbering? Yes, the flags will be returned one way or the other. I'm quite sure they will. I'll ask about. Penal times is like when Catholics were allowed to practice their faith. What? Fucking hell, man. You know what I mean? Keep it fucking relevant, please, guys. You got to keep it relevant. I'm not doing history lessons. We're not going back. A simple yes or no instead of excuses, please. Wait, fucking hell. What's the question? Would you like to interview a lovely lady up there in East Belfast, Linda Irvine, ask her about the Irish language, its importance? Yes, I would love to ask Linda the importance of the Irish language in the Shankill. I would love to ask her the importance of the Irish language in Sandy Row and the village, you know, and in Londonderry and the Waterside, you know, or in Kilcooley Estate, or Bloomfield, or Whitehill. You know what I mean? Yes, definitely, all day long. I would love to understand why we need to have the Irish language in Northern Ireland when only 7% of the country supposedly are fluent in it. You know, you're not talking to somebody that hates the Irish language, you know what I mean? I can speak a wee bit of it, you know what I mean? I can, a tiny wee bit of it, you know what I mean? But like, I'm not going to say I'm fluent in it, but I can speak it. So does that mean I'm part of the 7%? That's the kind of questions I would be asking now, you know what I mean? But yeah, of course I would. Of course I would. Tell her to get in touch. Freedom Dad FD on Facebook. Send me a message. I'll look out for her name. My moderators, the guys that look after that, will look out for their name. Look out for her name. They don't show white couples in commercials over here now, so they don't, Mr. Blonde. They I've noticed that. We joke about it. We actually sit down and for a wee hour every now and again just to chat the adverts, the waiting just to get a laugh at the different the diversity of the madness. You know what I mean? We're sitting in an area that's all white. You know what I mean? And there's not a white couple with a white baby anywhere on anything. And nowhere on any advertisement will you see a normal white Belfast couple holding a normal white baby. Say they're two blacks, it's black and a white, or two whites with a black baby. Fucking, you can make any sense to that, like? Maz Nolan, Freedom that I'm in Bangor. Can you find out whether they're being stolen? I don't think they were stolen, guys. I'm telling you, I think they were taken down because of the wind. So what we've got, when you've got flags on bridges, right? The problem with the flags on bridges is that they can blow off, okay? They can blow off and they can wrap around somebody's window screen. When you've got a main road like that, it could cause an accident. Nobody wants to cause an accident, okay? It's not just about that. There is... So, Galloway Raider, no, sorry, Maz Nolan and Rathgill were our flags. Listen, guys, there's nobody stopping you putting flags up, okay? You're allowed to put, if you want to put flags up, you can put flags up. You can put your flags up in your house, outside your lamppost, whatever. Guys do that, you know. There's guys that do that all around, you know. At the end of the day, you can do a whip round in your street and go and buy yourselves a lot of flags and put them up on your own lampposts. You know what I mean? No, there's no Protestant or loyalist going to be taking your flags down. You know, it's not the flags that go up every year are done for a reason. That we've got VE Day and all that comes in there. Obviously, our thing, the flags get tattered and worn, and rather than have tattered, worn flags up, it costs a lot of money to keep putting flags up. You know, it does. It's a lot of money, guys. You know what I mean? A lot of lampposts in Northern Ireland. So it's down to individual areas to do what they want. That's the way I look at it, you know. Make sure I don't miss any trolls. Yeah, Roberto, yeah. Storm Amy, correct, yes. No, her husband missing for 5 weeks. No, well, I actually was up the day before the storm, okay? I went up and fixed one of the Union Jacks on the bridge, you know what I mean? And obviously that was early in the day, so maybe later in the day somebody came along and took them down because of the winds. For few communities have banned you from your protest about your dinner. What are you talking about, mate? Do you not watch my videos? Do you not pay any? Are you just in to make a cunt of yourself? You're being silly. You know what I mean? You're making a fool of yourself. You know what I mean? The real boys on the ground know that you have been told to stay away. Okay, now, man. You've got to come up with better than that. I have a farm of land if you've got a tent or a caravan, Seagull. Oh, that's nice. Galloway. Yeah, NIPSA don't want Freedom Dad at their protest. Yeah, that's the only ones. Yeah, they don't like it. They don't like it. But there's nothing they can do about it, guys. You know what I mean? If they're protesting in our city centre, we've got every right to be there. You know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. Please hit the like and share, subscribe. Thank you, guys. Make sure you're subscribed because YouTube have got a thing about taking subscriptions off. And also remember, the subscription is free. It doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe. You're not going to have to pay anything every month. You know what I mean? A lot of people sometimes think that. So it's a free subscription. It's a free channel. There's no adverts. And, you know, I try and make it as pleasant for you as possible that way. And it's not just about that. It's because of the topics that I speak about, you know. Where else are we? If you want a good life in the USA, just don't live in the cities. Yeah, I've been in America. Keep up the good work. Thank you, mate. John Dockery, great show with John Downs the other day. It was, mate. I'm like really, really chuffed with it, to be honest with you. Some amazing feedback. And the main thing is, this is the biggest point, that John down south has got some really good feedback, because I was a wee bit worried. You know, I know Michelle, from what I believe, she was threatened, you know what I mean? But I think that was because she asked me to speak at the post office, you know what I mean? And I get that, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't have anything to do with that. It was one of the moments. I was recording it outside the post office in Dublin, and she called me up to speak. I didn't know, she didn't give me a heads up, and I ended up speaking, as you know, you've seen the video. And yeah, it was, I delivered quite a good speech. If I don't say, for somebody that didn't have a clue that he was talking, I delivered an all right speech, and that was a nail in the coffin for us all, to be honest with you. The relationship between me and Michelle Keane, that was brought in abrupt told. And, you know, how do I buy you a coffee, Saxon? You can buy me a coffee when you see me, mate. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it, mate. So, you know, it's like, yeah, that's the problem. You know, it's like, you know, my guys down here, they're all right with me bringing these guys down, and you know, I've got the okay that way. But they've got to get, you know, they've got to go back to Southern Ireland and live there. You know what I mean? And like you see, I get threatened with the IRA and the INLA, and you know, it is very dangerous. It fucking is, for any Protestant or Catholic trying to bring communities together. Especially in the north and the south. And it's not like we're bringing each other together for United Ireland. We're just wanting to talk. We're just patriots. We want to find out exactly what's going on down there. We want to find out exactly how bad it is, what it's, because the only way you find out the truth is from the people on the street. You know, that's how I found so much out, by going down to Dublin and meeting all the Irish people and talking to them and saying to them, listen, I'm an ex-lawless prisoner from Belfast, a Protestant. How do you feel about that? You know, and that was the most important thing to me, because, you know, there's no point me going forward with what I was trying to do if they weren't gonna, because there was no point me pretending to be anybody else, because the papers made sure they knew anyway. I mean, one of the Sundays I was leaving to go to Dublin, but I'd already left. I was on my way to Dublin. The Sunday papers brought out the first time they brought out that I was related to Shankill Butchers. That was then, when I was going to the Dublin protest. Go live when Nolan's on, see his talking points and give comment. Freedom Dad is a top bloke. Well, thank you. Is Nolan on? What time is it? Is he on tonight? What time's he on tonight, guys? There you are, Saxon, mate. Cheers, James. Mark Neville. Okay, serious question. Will the Irish language be on every public service soon? Nobody can. Yeah, that's the way they're wanting it. Like, you know, everything to do with the council will have it in English and in Irish, you know. I just feel sorry for the Islamists, because there's no Arabic, you know, and the Polish, because there's no Polish, you know. You know, I think there's more people who speak Polish than there is Irish, you know what I mean? So if you're going to go with stats, you know what I mean, then surely it should be Polish up there. But yeah, and that's facts. That is facts, guys, you know what I mean? There's foreigners in this country that speak their own language more than there is Irish that speak in this country, and that's fucking, you can take that to the bank, you know. Oh, not related. Oh, not related to Nolan. Yeah, Max. But won't there be Ulster Scots on the signage too? No, no, just Irish, just old Irish on it. I was thinking this radio show. Don't know if he's on the tally. Yes, I think he's on the. There's something on the tally tonight, guys. I'm sure. The mother sober, bone dry, hens lay eggs all its life and dies at 10, but the sinful gin, full rum, soup man, drinks risky and rye. Wonder what happened with Michelle. I like her and her. She's doing well, mate. You know what I mean? She is. She's doing really well. She's carrying on as normal, but obviously the link that we had is broken. You know what I mean? And it won't be up there, bro. I don't know. Is that me? Right to be right? It won't be up there, bro. Anonymous McGregor, 2, 3 scoring 10, and some of us a mighty few will stay pickled till we're 92. Irish come before English. Michael Floyd, what bean is on about penal laws were implemented in Ireland late 17th century, which barred Catholics from voting, banned from practicing law or medicine, and inheriting land and speaking Irish. Okay, I think we've come a long way from then, haven't we, mate? Can anyone please say thank you to Freedom Dad for doing his work for us, putting his life on the line for us viewers. Thank you, guys. You don't need to fucking thank me. Like, it's not just me. Freedom Dad, why link broken? What link? I don't know what link you're talking about, mate. Thank you, Davey. I say thanks. I know that, mate. I know you do. Listen, you don't need to thank me. It's not just me. There's a fucking full squad behind me, like, you know what I mean? There's many behind me, many people involved with me. And people laughed at my mate, Wally Fraser. Who's laughing now? Yes, mate, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he was a good man. We'd actually start looking into some of Wally Fraser stuff, bring him back to life a wee bit, mate. Oh, link with Michelle. It's, to be honest with you, it's too dangerous. You know, it's too dangerous. Listen, me and Michelle have not fell out. We just do not communicate. I wouldn't want to put her in any danger. You know, she knows who I am. I watch her stuff. She watches my stuff, and that's it. You know what I mean? But to be publicly, you know, it's too damaging for her. Not me, for her. So I know when to back off. I know when Freedom Dad can maybe do somebody a bit of damage, and I step right back. And that's what it's about. It's not about Michelle. It's about me more than seeing, you know, the initial silence and then thinking, right, okay, I understand what's going on, you know, because it all happened really, really quickly. You got to understand there was an ex-loyalist prisoner standing outside the post office where the 1916 uprising, you know, the bullet holes are still on the wall, you know, talking to the Irish people. You know, it didn't go down too well with the what would you call them, the hardliners. Yeah. Chucky is our da la di la. Galloway Reader, send one, mate. So where's our wee tool gone? Come on, man. You must have something better than that. Jeez, oh. Fucking don't stop. So I'm fucking hardly ever in. Running about the place like a madman. Right, need to let the dog in. Oh, you stay down there. You stay down there. Freedom Dad got thought was right. Tulip. Leave him alone. Tulip, get up here. Leave him. Tulip, come here. You come here. Leave him alone. Wait, calm down. Come here. Calm down. What was that, mate? I missed that. You know she's from Gary. Got your Freedom Dad got your thought was fall out. Good to hear, because she has great patriot and see same fight. Oh yeah, 100% not falling out. when the time's right, we will hopefully communicate together. Maybe whenever the people here doing all the threats right now realize that we're not a threat, we're not a problem, you know what I mean? It's going to maybe take another year, maybe, of the madness that we're seeing and the result of what's going to happen for people to really think, well, you know what? These guys have been shouting about this for the last couple of years and we've been threatening them, but really all they've been doing is trying to tell us, listen, we need to communicate. I'm hoping that's the dawn will come one day and they go, you know what? We do need to communicate. This is bigger than all of us. This is bigger than the IRA and the Republican movement and all that, all the 1916 and the hunger strikers, and bigger than the 12th of July, bigger than the 11th bonfire, bigger than the Apprentice Boys, bigger than anything that we know, what's coming and what our children's future could hold, you know what I mean? And it's just waiting for people to catch up. Freedom Dad, you're becoming a Yorkshire legend. Got a lot watching and reminiscing. Happy days. They had the Irish street sign year back. They had to remove them. The postman couldn't read them. Good one, mate. These people live in the past. If you live in the past, you have no future. Well said. Freedom Dad, you can't debate a reprobate. Your speech was one of the best. Too inspiring to be allowed. It was a good speech, wasn't it? It was a good speech. Do you need to wake up and smell the coffee before it's too late? Correct, mate. You calm down because you're just wanting to annoy him. There was a foreigner flashed 3 primary school girls yesterday in the entry of the Ormo. Fucking hell. So we got no trolls. The trolls are pretty... Super Patsy was a good troll. He was funny. You know what I mean? He was funny. See, I can tell the difference. There's different trolls, you see. There's trolls that come from my community that fucking hate me. They just fucking hate Freedom Dad because Freedom Dad's that good, And, yeah. So they'll make up names and come on and say stupid shit, but... it is what it is. It tells me everything I need to know. Anything that threatens our native Irish language is a threat. This is why I don't want immigration. Fair enough, mate. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, like. Has been writing on your post, Freedom Dad? Who has? Who dares write on my posts? Who dares? Tell me, Davy. You suck, Freedom Dad. See, that's better. We're getting there, like. Evening, folks. How's things? All good, Colin. All good, mate. 30 chances. Trolls tonight were orange jumpers. Super Patcher, of course. Like that bent. Oh, yes, I know. I do interact with them, so I do. Aye, for the pound. For the pound. Just as they're putting their shopping in the boot, man, I'm off with the trolley. Why won't you meet Republicans? Because they won't meet me. Fuck's sake. Freedom Dad's been choking to meet a Republican. I'm speaking to them, but it's difficult. It's difficult for them to come on Freedom Dad's channel. Oh, today I'll have a wee look, so I will, mate. Okay, sorry. Galloway, you tried. You tried, you know what I mean? And it hurt a wee bit. Hearing it from you, it was almost worse than a troll. You've done more damage than a troll would do, mate, so you've done all right. Sean McGuigan, you'll meet me. Do I need to bring my wraps? You need to come on my channel, mate. But I need to meet you first, I suppose, if you want to come on. You know what I mean? It needs to be filmed. You can film it and I can film it, so there's no messing about. I always tell people, like, if you're going to be interviewed, film it yourself. Don't rely on the interviewer to film it, because they'll edit it and fuck about with it. Sean McGuigan. You have a knock off diesel body, easy to tell, has the ratings backwards. Yeah, I was gonna go, no, it's not. I bought this in Ireland. I bought this in Dublin. It's not fake. I bought it was in the EU. I went into the EU to buy this. Fucking, you can't, it's true, isn't it? Like, yeah, let's us join the EU. You know what I mean? Let's jump out of the frying pan and straight into the fire. That's a great idea, Sinn Féin. We've got one Sean McGuigan volunteered. If we use logic, then it should be shown as the sham it is, i.e. Irish sites. Okay, so what about the rest of the languages? And let's see how much that'll cost. Yeah, this is the thing as well, you know what I mean? The money and the nonsense. It's like SNP when they were wanting an independent and they couldn't answer any questions. It's the same as Sinn Féin. You know what I mean? They're saying there's this much money put down, but how much money is it going to cost in the future? And they don't have the answers. Why would you not have the answers? You should have the answers. These are the first questions that the Protestants are going to ask you. You think you'd be ready with an answer. You know, it shows you the strength. It's not about getting the Irish language out there. They know they're not going to get it. It's causing us. Look, see, so this is what Sinn Féin want. They want us to be at each other's throats. They want us to be fighting. They don't expect Freedom. It's us guys like Freedom Dad and all that to talk logically about it. They're expecting us to be hateful. Oh, you don't want the Irish language. That's because you'd hate us because we're Catholics, and you know, that's what it is. It's a great division, and that's what it's all about right now. Yeah, okay, I can do that, mate. I can definitely do that. It is not near time to bring a horse and carriage on its rounds, Albert. Yeah, okay, mate. So if you've got Facebook, if you don't have Facebook, you can email me on sparkydad73@gmail.com and drop me your phone number and we will arrange it. I can do the video with us sitting with the camera behind you and just where it sees the back of your head and sees you, but you would have a mic on. It would need to be your voice. You know, that's the only thing. I'd need to speak to somebody to see if I can change the voice on the video. But I imagine I would probably need to change the voice on both of yous. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll ask CJ. CJ might know. Don't agree with the money argument. It costs millions every year cleaning up the bonfires. Yes, well, you know, the bonfires have been around for a long time. The Irish language hasn't been on the streets in Northern Ireland ever. You know, apart from some areas like where they put them up themselves and stuff like that. That's the difference. This is something new. It's not like we're just going, who was that? Sorry, mate. No, seriously, let me get out. Maybe go back. Fuck, it's not gone that far back, has it? Sorry, mate. I want to shout your name out there. It's not like we've just turned around right now and go, right, we're wanting bonfires in every Protestant area. And, you know, it's going to cost this much this year, but we don't know how much it's going to cost in the next 3 years. That's not the case. You know what I mean? You can't really, it's not a good comparison. The bonfires have been going for a long time. And it's part of our heritage and our culture. What my argument is, you know, I've got nothing against the Irish language. I would learn the Irish language. I've got no problem with that. I would love to learn the Irish language, to be honest with you, just to have a bit of crack with Jerry Kelly and that when he's doing the Palestinian but marches. I would, you know, just to shout stuff at him in Irish and fucking just blow him away, you know what I mean? And just confuse him a wee bit. But yeah, you know, it's not something that bothers me. It's, you know, like when I had the guy that I was the IRA boy I was friends with in when I was 18 in England, you know, after we split up, you know, we used to write each other and I'd finish my letters off no surrender. you know, FUAG, you know, or FGAU, and he would write fucking Slango for La Clara, Chucky Arla, you know what I mean? That didn't bother me at all because he was my friend. He was in the IRA. We stood back to back in the jail, and when we got split up and moved to different jails, then we kept in contact for a while. But we knew we would never be in contact outside of prison, and that was accepted even back then in our jails. Protestant IRA men and Parliament used to communicate with each other. You know what I mean? So it wasn't something unusual, or nobody would ever look down at me. Well, you doing talking to an IRA man? When you're in prison, things are a bit different. You know what I mean? And when you're in prison in England, things are very, very different. And sometimes you need to stand back to back. You know, and but we always agreed, like two real men, that we would never talk again outside that, and we were enemies. You know, best friends in prison, out in the street we were enemies, and that was it. And I swear my mother's grave, that was the way we were at that age. You know, and I'm quite proud looking back because I sometimes forget how young I was because I'd already done a 3-year sentence in Northern Ireland before I got the 6th in England. You know what I mean? So when I was 16, I'd already got 3 years. So then when I was 18, I got 6 years. So I was well versed, already been on the streets all my life as a wee boy, been through the Crumb, you know, done Haybank. He's on, if anybody from Northern Ireland, done Haybank in 1987, 1988, and then 6 years in England. So, you know, I wasn't green, but I still was a kid. But looking back at the way my attitude was towards this guy and the way he was with me, I was quite proud of myself. I handled myself really well. And, you know, I do believe in my heart, on my mother's grave, any sentence I've done, I've always been representing my community, i.e. Protestant Loyalist community in Belfast. And I've always handled myself like that way. And that's what's kept me right and kept me just kept things right. You know what I mean? Nothing ever went wrong. Nothing ever went wrong for me. You and Michelle would be a great force. That's why they won't allow it. Well, like I say, she was an amazing woman, very straightforward, no back doors, no hidden agenda, wanted an All Ireland. We don't. Still had the conversation, came, seen the bonfire, spoke to some loyalists, you know, told her who we are, what we're about, you know. We don't want to fight you, but we will if we have to. You know what I mean? Well, you know, and it's the exact same as, you know, if we were to attack them, they would fight us. If they attack us, we would fight them. You know, we're not going to pretend to be somebody that we're not. Okay? Nothing has changed as far as politics and our beliefs. Nothing's changed. But it doesn't mean we can't go forward together. You know? Sean McGregor, we were just about to meet, were we not? I was about to meet the guy. Where's your check? We were lucky Brexit was UK-wide vote because 96% of Northern Ireland voted to stay in the EU. What would a united Ireland look like? Afghan, river dance, Pakistan, flute band, and mid-boogie. Oh, man. Nolan is on at 22:55. Fuck, that's late, isn't it, man? 5 to 11. I don't know if I'll make that, guys. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. All free, and Freedom Dot is awesome. Thanks, mate. Honestly. IS. Is that ISIS? Is that Iraq and Syria? You've put a couple of your mates in prison. Clever. Good. That implicates his mates. Clever prod. That implicates his mates. Okay, dokie. So, who have I put in prison? Come on. Fill me in on that one, will you? Because I'm sure everybody will be quite intrigued. Give me some names, man. Give me some names. You must have some names. Volunteers required to troll Nolan tonight. Richard Smallman. Volunteers required to troll Nolan tonight. Bad lads that hold her history hostage state is of leering from it might be the problem. Come on, IS. Don't be dithering there. Get it out, man. Come on. We're all in. He's not all in suspense to find out who I put in prison, guys. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on, hurry up. Get the comment up. Stop thinking about it. You can't come out with statements like that without coming out with names. Freedom Dan, I already told him it was that case. You wouldn't be living here. That's all right, Lady J. Let's just play along tonight. Yeah, I'm in one of my moods. Are you an informant? I am an informant, yes. I give as much information to you guys as possible on mass immigration and the fucking rise of Islam. Yes, I am, mate. Davey. Ursher check 75. Oh, and the return of chunks. Please don't go away. The return of chunks in my trunks. This could be our new tool, you know. Let him waffle. Nolan needs to go back on his veggie diet. Nah, come on. No fat jokes in it, guys. Bloody phone died, LOL. Sounds like I missed something. We've got a couple of tools in, mate. We're trying to bring the tools on. They're not the best, you know what I mean? But we have had better. Here we go. You got that boy Ryan put back in with your interview. Clever prod that helps his mate go to jail. Okay, so Ryan came on to my interview. So I didn't hold him at gunpoint. I didn't kick his door in, you know what I mean? Say, get on that couch. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm not allowed. I don't care. I'm fucking going to ask you anyway. You know what I mean? And, you know, I know Ryan. I'm not going to, like, I'm just going to thingy this as well. You know, I've only met him a couple of times, you know what I mean? You know, and that's the truth, you know what I mean, guys? But yeah, I have a sort of soft spot for him because of his mental health, guys. You know what I mean? He suffers from really bad. I don't know if it's PTSD or ADHD, but he's a live wire. Really hard to interview. And God love him, like, God love him. I was just wondering how all around you get nicked and you don't. Well, you know, you just got to keep on wondering, don't you? Gets the old brain ticking, doesn't it? Like, you know what I mean? I was once the land of saints and scholars. Look what political negligence has done to us. Oh, fuck's sake, wise up. 15. Yes, please, no, leave him. Please let me deal with him tonight. I'm in the mood for them tonight. Freedom, that I agree with all your work, but could you address the MI5 allegations, mate? Right, all I'm going to say to you, mate, is just watch some videos back or leave a comment on one of my videos and my moderators will put you right. You know what I mean? Because I've been told to stop going on about it. You know, I'd love to, because I really do. I would love to, but please believe me, mate. I live in loyalist areas. I'm in every single loyalist area there is, non-stop. You know, trust me, my community would deal with me if I was an MI5 agent. Please believe me. So that's all I can say about it, mate. You know what I mean? I'm legally, I've got to be careful. It was a court case that happened a wee while ago, and I took the oath. And the only person that said it is me. Remember that. You know what I mean? So you can work it out from there. I have to be very careful. I don't know if you're trying to egg me on to saying something. This is what I've been warned by my mates. Be careful that people don't come on and try and get you to say the one thing that's going to get you done. You know, so I've done well so far. 800 videos, and I've managed to avoid it. So you've got to use your head, mate. I don't know what else to say. But listen, the papers are throwing it out fucking every second week. I was in the papers 3 weeks in a row. I was in the papers 3 weeks, three Sundays in a row, and then normally 3 days in a row on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because they always throw out the Sunday papers. So please believe me, it's wide thingy. You know, everybody knows about it, and I don't know what else to say, mate. But I've just seen IS, but I'll get to him in a wee second, guys, because I'm not going to just give them all the limelight tonight. I forgive your work, but could you address, you can imagine, mate, you just use your nut. Go to one of the demos and come up and speak to me. That's what they do. Go to one of the demos and just get a wee chat and say, Freedom Dan, I've heard this, what's the crack? Just be brave and a man about it and just fucking say to my face, you know? And no disrespect, buddy, I totally get it, because I wouldn't want to be following somebody that was maybe working for MI5 or whatever, you know, intelligence service or a grass or a tout or whatever you want to call it. Freedom ask is, what does being a right wing mean? But he doesn't know. Well, of course I know. Freedom ask is, Freedom You asking me? Do you need me to tell you what right wing is? Seriously, you're on a right wing platform. You know what I mean? This is the Patriot world. This is right wing heaven, mate. You know. Robert Kendall, I think they only used livers or oil. I think remember reading about great fishing with rod and time. The wee tools are having a great time because my mods are not touching them. Right, hold on. Did I dismiss one? Yeah. So you know it would have breached his bail and didn't think to say, Rand, this is not a good idea. Okay, maybe you should watch the video. No, you won't be able to watch the video. There's only a select few who can watch that video. But if you had to watch the video, one of the first questions they asked, what's your bail conditions? You know what I mean? I can't do no more than that. You know what I mean, mate? So, yeah. You're going to have to change that one. That one's shit. See that one with Iran and all that? That's not going anywhere. So it is. That's not going to get you anywhere at all. You got to do better than that. Sleep well, people of Ulster. Monday tomorrow. Good one. Fucking Royal Hospital tomorrow. Long day. Fuck's sake, Alan. Ask is what. Okay, Freedom Dad is. Ask is what does right wing mean? Bet he doesn't know. Oh, ask him. Ask IS. Oh, right. Sorry, Rich. Sorry, mate. Sorry. No, I'm not asking because I'm not. He's waste of time. Absolute waste of time. I'm on the ground, Mark. Plenty of communities have told you not to come to their protest. They are seeing through you. Sandy Rowe told you're not welcome back. Okay, dokie, mate. MI5, ha. Yeah. Freedom Dad was offered a relocation package by MI5 after the wire he wore was unveiled. Don't fucking bite to that nonsense. Be raccoon man, fuck's sake. Top informants are well protected on both sides of the divide in the north. Yeah, well, not in the past. I can tell you that. I know some stories about curl your toes. I know, Bean, I know. Don't fall for the bullshit, Freedom Dad. He tried to use it as a defense and it was laughed out of court. It wasn't laughed out of court, man. I got 18 fucking years. It was nothing to laugh about. Fuck's sake. Is it 15? Or I thought it was IS. Freedom Dad, I live in the village, been through the same life as you. I'm just asking because it's all I can't suss out about you, mate. No tricks. I'll come and see you. No tricks, mate. No, I totally get that, 100%, but there's only so much I can say. Well, there's 15, told you. There's 15s, told you, mate, you know what I mean? Wearing a wire is so 17s. We're all wearing wires, guys. There's your wire there. That's your wire. Fuck's sake. But yeah, mate, send me a hangy, man. If no, seriously, like I'll pop down and see you. I'll pop down. We'll pop down. You want to pop and see us? Come see me, and in any area, Sandy Row, Shankill, East Belfast, North Down. I'll meet you, mate. Nolan is on at 11. I'm going to try. I can't see me making it, guys. What time is it now? I've got an hour. Mark wanted to think he was an informant. Truth is, he was a fantasist and a bad robber. Okay, well, that's bad. I can handle that. That's okay, mate. You know what I mean? You're meant to be a troll, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Not helping me. Freedom Dad, yeah, I'll get that. Hi, 15 Mark, relating to MI5 bollocks in the 80s during the Troubles, like. Yeah, just don't, honestly. Just let them roll. 15, many banks have you lost it? It was a good bookie robber, so take that. I was a good bookie robber. Is it? That's not me saying that, by the way. That's our sure check fucking 75. I need to be careful. Yeah. Mark Neville, is it true that MI5 offered you a lifetime sports direct discount? Do you know what I would have liked from them? A lifetime fucking mobile data. You know what I mean? It's cost me 20 quid every 2 weeks. Looks like I'll be happy with that. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys. So don't stay here. 15 many banks of you, right? Okay, saying that. Mark Neville, is it true MI5 offered you lifetime? Sorry, I got that one, mate. Sorry. Fuck's sake, don't watch Nolan. Boost his ratings. Oh no, because I'm going to find out from everybody anyway. You know what I mean? If there's anything on it about me, my phone will be going off the hook. AY Otis was talking about you on his live with over 5,000 live people on his live. That was nice. I'm going to have to give him a wee message. I am in contact with him, so I will thank him after this. I'm going to come on and thank him, so I am. Fair enough, it's hard to not live the lives we lived and not have someone call you a grass. It's the oldest trick in the book. Mate, it's not someone, it's me. Please believe me, it's me. It's nobody else but me. And that's all I can tell you. There's not a man in this country or any country can say that I've ever grassed or been a tout or not tell you that I'm the most loyal guy they'll ever meet. You know, so it's just something that fucking, you know what I mean? I sort of regret a wee bit now, obviously, but it was one of them things, you know what I mean? But, you know, can't admit or deny, can I? Just like they can't admit or deny, you know what I mean? So, yeah. He is a good lad. Phone Nolan and see, no, me and Nolan aren't communicating. He's already tried. I'm not going down that road. You know what I mean? Did you all know Gary Neville's father is called Neville Neville? Fucking hell, man. Does 15 even know what MI5 is? No, I think he's just sitting there fucking with a load of Sunday Worlds in his book, and he's just going through the Sunday Worlds right now, trying to think of something to throw up. You know, gift gaff, £20 a month, unlimited everything. Yeah, no, I'm trying to. I am going to look into it. What was that there? I wonder if he'll have Jamie Bryson on the night again. I think he might be. I'll clear it up. He tried to say he was working for MI5 in order to try and get off the charges. Oh, cheers, mate. However, it's backfired years later because it's now made him look like he's a tout. No, it doesn't. You're trying your best, but it actually doesn't. You know what I mean? When I say I regret it, it was just one of them things, you know what I mean, that it's not a nice thing to have to do, you know what I mean? And yeah, there's a couple of things. It's personal things, you know what I mean, with my religion that I'm not happy about out of all that. But yeah, you know, I got a majority verdict. Let me tell you this now for nothing, guys. Okay, fucking this fucking 15 clown would even he would have just pled guilty. I got a majority verdict. So what that means, it wasn't unanimous. It means some of the jury believed me. It means I don't know what it was. I don't know what the numbers were because they don't tell you. But and unanimous means everybody in the jury finds you guilty, and this is in Scotland. And majority means that some of the jury believed that you're innocent, but the majority of them believed you were guilty, and that's that. So I'm quite proud of that. You know what I mean? When I was looking at 18 to 22 years, if I'd have been found guilty for the 5 bank robberies, I would have got 22 years. I was found guilty for 3, not guilty for 2. 2 that they say I done on my own, I was found not guilty for. 3 that they say I done with co-accused, I was found guilty for. Okay, and that's it in a nutshell, guys. And I got 18 years. I've done my time, and I'm back. I'm back. So let me see. But thank you for clearing that up, mate. Because you're saying the things that I can't really say, you know what I mean? So you're not a very good troll at all. You know what I mean? You're quite a handy. We might actually keep you. You know, I'll think about it. I'll have a wee word with my moderators later. I might actually keep you. But you need to watch my videos. You've got to watch all my TikToks. You've got to watch all my Facebook because you need to get content. You need to try and pick up on my mistakes. You need to pick up on things that I'm saying and try and throw them back at me. That's what you really got to work hard to be a troll on Freedom Dad's channel. Reading in Sunday World and then throwing it out, it's old news. You know what I mean? 800 videos, mate. Oh, well over a year now. Some of these guys have been here from the start, you know. They've watched the videos, you know. They've watched Who is Freedom Dad. They've watched Hi, I Got 18 Years. You know what I mean? All these videos I've done. You haven't watched my videos. You know what I mean? Neville is so woke. Neville's really let us down, hasn't he? I will admit there was no proof of you touting. We can agree on that. I'll give you that. You're not going to be a troll. We're going to declassify you as a troll. I'm sorry, mate, but yeah. Everyone in the chat always knows, comes to Donegal Road, Donegal, and have a good time. And all lovely Donegal people, if you can find them, will be lovely people. Donegal is a nice thingy. Brad robber, and bad at making up stories. We can all agree on that. Well, there you go. I'm not going to argue with that, mate. Who wants to be a good robber these days? You know what I mean? I just want to be a good YouTuber. I want to be a good content creator. I want to be a good patriot. You know what I mean? Can we keep him, please? We'll keep him. BT here in the UK do an essential package. I have TV, internet, and phone, £15 a month. That sounds all right, Leslie Handy. That sounds very handy. I need to know NI is going to stay this. I need to know NI is going to stay the way it is. Oh, I don't know, mate. 15, I've given my oxygen up on you. One of your mods is in our group. LOL, we have some good screenshots he gave up. Oh, well, that's going to get me thinking, innit, eh? Oh, now you're starting to be a wee bit of a clever troll, aren't you? I wonder what mod's trading around me. You know, I feel like a wee bit like Jesus and the disciples, you know. Who's the Judas? I'm going to be up all night now thinking about that. Fuck's sake. Hope you're keeping well, my friend Keith White. I was always Diplock Courtmark. Yeah, fair enough, man. We need to catch up, man. We'll get a wee chat. Yeah, logging into this. You will get back what you give out in this channel, like, guys. You know, for the trolls, you will get it back. Like, we got my community are quite sharp. You know, they're quite sharp. And what do you see is when we get the wine in us. You know what I mean? What do you see when we get the old lives going with the bottles of wine going? You know, you won't have a chance, mate. Tulip's jumping about there, being a pain in the arse. B Raccoon, it's Super Patcher's slow young brother. Good night, mate. CSC audits. Good night, my bro. It's Reggie. He's tooting and tooting. Not clever at all. Just telling you, one of these mods has took his 50 pieces of silver. Fucking hell, man. Well, give me 25 with them, guys. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake. We could get a wee business going here, so we could. I could get 100 mods and just get you all to go and pretend the grass on me, man, and get money off people, and we could all half it. You know what I mean? We would do all right, wouldn't we? So, yeah, there's not a lot anybody can really do any harm to me. You know what I mean? It's not like we have secret discussions on live internet, you know what I mean? And then they're running telling anybody anything. There's nothing anybody can say or do. I'm an open book, you know what I mean? And this is the problem with the trolls, you know what I mean? I've got no problem talking about anything, mental health, you know, life, the downs, the lows, the ups, you know. 15, I robbed the sweetie shop in the hack. For fuck's sake, man. I'm hard as fucking Call of Duty level. Kirky. Freedom Dad, seems like you are world famous, my mate. And the south of France is watching. Bonjour. Merci pursue. That's like, you know what I mean? But thank you, mate. Thank you. All right, the wee dog. Oh, the wee dog. Look, so she is. Palestinian group has all the screenshots, and it's very interesting on private Facebook group. Well, I'm glad that you've got a wee thing going there where you're getting a wee bit of interest in life, because life can be really, really dull and boring. And I swear to God, I've said this a few times. If I can give somebody a wee bit of hope in life, If I can make somebody get up in the morning, even if it's to go on their wee secret Facebook page where they're all talking about Freedom Dad and having a wee chuckle, you know, that makes me happy. You know, that does make me happy. Genuinely does make me happy. I swear to God, I'm not kidding you on. You know, there's like anything that's done on the left about me, I think it's hilarious. We have such a laugh. I'm not just saying this. That's the effect it has on us. It doesn't like I can't. There's nothing you can say or do that isn't going to make us laugh. You know what I mean? I swear to God, and I don't know what it is. Like it's just funny. It's just funny to us. Even whenever, even when the paper stuff comes out, like if like not we don't buy the papers. We photo. What we do is we go into the papers shop, open them up, and photograph everything. We will not pay for a paper. They'll never get money off us. So then we then get them clips, the photographs that we've taken, we then put them out. So other people don't need to pay for the fucking paper just to read about Freedom Dad, you know what I mean? So it's all wee tactics that we use and things like that. But to be honest with you, like if we're sitting in a group is and we get something sent through, one of the boys was up early and he's got the papers and he sent it through, we will sit and have such a laugh. And I mean tears running down the face because, you know, us guys can be funny, you know what I mean? And it is funny. It is funny, especially when people are getting brought into it and all that, and they're nothing to do with it, you know. You're like, for fuck's sake, you know, poor guy. You know, I mean, there was a TikTok done, right? Who is the far right? Sort of fuck, right? It's like this TikTok, who's the far right in Northern Ireland? And it was all me, Pinky, Glenn, you know what I mean? Who else? A couple of my security guys, and CJ. There's fucking pure CJ Stalin, man. He's got nothing to do with us. He's an auditor. You know, he doesn't go to demos. He's not like us. I promise you, CJ's a good friend. But politically, we're totally different. I think, I don't know, we've never really got into it, but we don't need to get into it. I see him as a good guy. I don't care what his politics is, you know. And he goes and he covers both demos. And he just seems to get a lot of flack from the Palestinians. And because he gets so much flack, he gives it back. So everybody thinks he's right wing because of that. And he's not. I'm fucking telling you now, he's not. And then, who was the other one? Oh, McBurnin Man 19, right? He's the other guy, no YouTuber. He's quite a lot. Hopefully most of these have thingied onto him. And he's there as well. And he's not right wing now. He's just a really nice Christian boy. You know, that's all. He records demos, honest to God. And to me, like, we do get a laugh at that. You know, we do, like, you know, because they haven't got a Scooby-Doo, like. But, yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of content from the Palestinians. And if I was monetized, I swear to God, see, if I was monetized, I'd throw them a wee free quid. You know, I'd be like, here, guys. You know what I mean? You're making me a fucking fortune. Go and get yourselves a pasty supper. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's all fun and games. So it is. Like I said, it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? We go to record. They give us the content. I can't stop that. You know, I can't stop the madness that comes out of their mouths. You know what I mean? And it is quite. You know, I am going to actually keep cutting stuff out of the old stuff to keep bringing it and making it relevant. There will be like Christmas time coming over Christmas and New Year, God willing. I'm still here. I will be bringing you the best of the best of this year, and I promise you, I'm going to spend maybe a week of maybe three or 4 hours every day for a week, going through all the videos and picking out the best clips, the funny bits, the stuff that you'll go, see, remember that. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me just double check this. It might be 15 at my door. Bonnie up there. Right. The front gate was open. Oh. I was asking a mate out about you because I'm 45. I'm from the village, so didn't know you. My mate told me you were a good bank robber because he'd done time in the maze with your mate from the east. Yes. We were the best. They called us the counter crew. You know, the police I'm going to tell you now, this is what the police are saying. They're saying that I'm responsible for over £900,000 worth of bank robberies, which is a lot of money going back in the 90s and all that. And that's why I got done the way I got done. You know what I mean? They were saying I was relentless. They're saying I've robbed every bank, and near enough in some banks I robbed twice. You know, that's the kind of things that was getting thrown about. And then they arrested me in Northern Ireland, took me to Scotland, and they said they had my fingerprint on the counter of a bank, which I knew was fucking impossible. You know what I mean? But it took me a year to get the experts in to get rid of the fingerprint. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of skullduggery, a lot of cheating. Wasn't a fair cop. You know what I mean? And yeah, but you know, like I say, when people say if they want you, they'll get you. It's true. It's true. Never underestimate the skullduggery that will come from the police. You know, and you know they were hoping that I was going to go, oh, all right, okay, I'll take a deal or whatever. You know what I mean? Or I'll throw my hands up to that one, but I'm not pleading guilty to the rest of them. You know what I mean? And I was like, no chance, not my fingerprint. You think I'm stupid? You know what I mean? And they did. They pushed it and pushed it, and I had to get experts in from like one from America and one from England. You know, to analyze the fingerprint and take my fingerprints again and fucking prove it wasn't my fingerprint. That took a year on remand. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they wanted me off the street, and I understand it. You know what I mean? I understand it. It's all understandable. Sunday World ruined a good part of my life 15 odd years ago with their lies, so I sympathise with you. Yeah, yeah, they tried. You know, hopefully, mate. You know, time's passed, and you know nowadays maybe back then, like the Sunday World and papers were believed. Nowadays, they're just everybody knows that it's just bullshit. You know what I mean? They're allowed to say whatever they want to say because we can't sue them because you can't sue papers. You can't get legal aid to sue papers. You need to have an awful lot of money. And even if you had 10, 20,000 pound, they would know they would know how much you would have because they work with the government, and you would burn that 10 or 20,000 pound before you would even get the trial. You know what I mean? Because they would keep putting it off and fucking you about. So it's very difficult to beat the establishment, you know. And like I say, I've been in the Sunday papers, front page and double spreads every week, every second week. It was like 8 weeks out of 11 weeks I was in the front page of the Sunday World or in the middle in a double spread. And then not last week or the week before, I was in it 3 weeks in a row, a hat trick. You know, and this is the first time. Yes, Sunday there was the first time that I've ever had since I've came back home 2 weeks without being in the papers. Clear, 2 weeks without being in the papers. So I'm hoping something's changed. I'm hoping that, you know, they see that, you know, fuck's sake, man. The guy was brought up, lost his mum when he was 8. He was an orphan, brought up in Kerr. Bad shit happened to him. There's a reason why he turned out the way he turned out. He was brought up in the fucking village, brought up in East Belfast. Fucking place was mental. Bombs and shootings going off everywhere. What do you expect a young man with no father or mother to guide? How do you expect he's going to turn out? You know what I mean? So I'm hoping you understand that bit and, you know, stop fucking digging up shit and fucking, you know, because there's no need for it. You know, I'm not saying anything wrong or lies. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm being honest and truthful. And honest and truthful isn't what they want, and it's not attractive, and it goes against the grain. But that's not my problem. Still honest and truthful, you know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, I'm still being brutally honest, and you know that's the only problem that they've got. You know, they can't shut me down because I'm being honest. You know, I'm not giving out misinformation. You know, I'm not being racist. I'm not being far right. You know what I mean? And people are starting to see that. The more people that meet me on the streets as well, and the more people that talk to me, and the more people I interact with, they're starting to understand that. They're starting to talk to everybody that knows me, and people have known me for years, and you know what I mean? People have grew up with me in like primary school and sang like in Rathgale and High Bank and the Crum and all through life know who I am. You know, they know who I am. So whenever I think the papers are starting to see now that people are stopping ban papers because they're saying one thing, and I'm like, listen, man, there's the truth, there's the proof, and they're like, fuck's sake, man, that's a bit naughty, the Sunday World, or that's a bit naughty, the Belfast Telegraph. You know what I mean? Not so much the Belfast Telegraph, but the Sunday World are fucking out there in another world. They're just really, really bad. you know, bad journalism. Like I say, Hugh Jordan sent me a message. Oh, I would like to have a chat with you and get your side of the story across. And I said to him, my message reply was, I would like you to come on my channel live and explain to my my followers your style of journalism. You know, let me ask you a few questions and you can ask me any question you want, you know, but he's not having that. They won't do that, you know. None of them will do that. None of them's going to come on here and allow themselves to be questioned by Freedom Dad, because I would ask them the hard questions that nobody's ever asked them, you know. And I would have the facts and the receipts and the proof to back when he answers a lie. I'll be able to call them out as lies and go, well, this is here and look at this is here and we've got this here, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, what's that say? You know what I mean? So yeah, we've got the facts, we've got everything we need, all on hard drives and memory sticks, and we build portfolios just like they do, you know. That's a tricky one. Serious, if a person is on remand and gets proven innocent, can you sue, get compo for wrong imprisonment? I think you can. I think you need to have a clean record, you know what I mean? But it depends if you're in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, so I can't really answer that one. Good one, Dirty. I'm not even going to read that out, you know what I mean? Because I do not want that. Freedom Dad, be careful of AY. Okay, Alan Best. I will be careful of everybody. So I will. I'm always careful of everybody. I was in jail too, but I'm not gay. Nolan was on your doorstep and Nolan was on your doorstep and you wouldn't debate the man. There's not a debate in the man. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. There's not a debate in the man. I don't know what else to say to you. Like, maybe it's just me being overconfident, right? Maybe it's just me being overconfident, right? I don't know, okay? But if it's a man standing in front of me without an earpiece and a production team around him, he hasn't got a chance with Freedom Dad. I'd rip him sideways, left ways, and upside down ways. There's no two ways about it. I'm 100%, 125, 50, 200% confident in that. Even whenever you listen to the phone-ins and you're like, fucking hell. You know, the things that he comes back with, you're like, what? You know, you're screaming at the thing, fucking say this. No, he wouldn't have a leg to stand on. He would never come to my door. Yep. Yes, Powers C78. I was our mate. Juniors, yeah. When it was a uniform, seniors on the left, juniors on the right. No harm done, Beam. No harm done. Yes, I'd be Raccoon. That would be right. Yeah, if you've been convicted before, you can't sue the courts. Yeah. House 4. House 4. I think it was house. It was the one on the main road when you come in off Rathgale. That was the house that you first went in. House 4 was a secure unit. That was the securest unit. I still got it out of there. But yeah, House 4 was a secure unit. Because I'm talking when I was really young. I think I was 11 when I first went into Rathgale. And that's when I was in the juniors. And then it changed a wee bit. And then you had the Kerr side. I've been in a few potted sales in my day, guys. I'll have to admit that, like. I lost a couple of friends thanks to it there, wee Sammy Rocket. Yeah, remember, I know him. I know everything about that, so I do. Well, obviously everybody does from now and on, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was a bad year, like, mate. But I'm not going to start blaming people on that one, like, because we don't know the facts of that, mate, you know. With you, brother. Thank you. Cheers, mate. No more trolls. All the trolls gone. The trolls can't handle freedom, Dad. You really can't, like. Sad, you know what I mean? Used to get good trolls. Mind the days used to get the good trolls. You know what I mean? If Stephen Nolan can't troll me, like, who the fuck can? You know what I mean? Let's be honest, you know? I get trolled every week in the Sunday papers. What's this Barbie thing, Mr. Blonde? Seagull Jeff's asking you. No, 40 pants. I don't want any of my own guys trolling me because even though I know you're having a laugh, it does hurt a wee bit. You know what I mean? There's a wee jagger, you know, a wee pointed thing. The trolls I can handle. It's like I get a bit of, I get a laugh at it, to be honest with you. Uncalled for, yes, I know. Let's not lower the tone. It's a long time ago, guys. Yeah, Super Patsy was funny in his own way, wasn't he? Like, fuck knows, man. What time is it? Like, what's on Nolan tonight? 10:30. We'll find out in half an hour. That's where you're getting tired, guys. 161 minutes, man. Fucking hell. 185 years on. I don't know why he's doing it. I really don't, man. I really appreciate it, like, you know what I mean? But I never think the content's great in lives. We're just chatting, you know what I mean? It's okay if we get a couple of trolls in, we get a laugh. Like, Eminem's disappeared. We normally get a laugh at him. He's normally complaining about something. Right, Gary, I'm going to my bed soon. No more coffee. Fuck all on the telly, LOL. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Hopefully I'm on your telly. 11 p.m. off to bed. It's not even the weekend. Kirky, it's alright, man. I feel old right now. Silver Fox Shangle, I'm just on when it's time for you to leave. We'll have to go back and watch from the start. Fuck's sake, mate. Don't, man. It's just a random chat. There's nothing, honestly, mate. Honestly. Yes, all big up. Cheers, Gary Belfast. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. So sorry. Just want to say this, but fucking. So, Hugh Jordan, who's the one that writes all the stuff about me in the Sunday World, put a post up yesterday. I don't think I'll be able to get it in this. You are old, Freedom Dad. I am old. See, I'm 5 years away from 60, guys. Hugh Jordan put a post up yesterday. Well done, Freedom Dad, getting everyone arrested. Fucking prick, like, so he was. But because he put my name up, I got 300 subs. I got 300 followers on Facebook, you know. So yeah, thank you, Hugh. You know, I was actually saying to one of my mates, I think he fucking likes me. I think he supports what I'm doing. Anonymous McGreg, we know what you're at. Oh, do you? Oh, do you? Fucking hope not. Dear. What do you think I'm at, Mr. McGreg? Is it McGreg? Let me get this right. It is McGreg. What do you think I'm at? Had you yawned a bit better, I would have been able to see what you had for breakfast. Fry up in East Belfast with the boys. That's what I had for breakfast. Well, brunch. It was actually lunch. Freedom that I think I got a link to a mental health help, but it's private. But I might get a few free, depends on Doc. Well, Alan, anytime you know you want to have a chat, I'll come and see you. I will come to you. We'll sit, get a coffee for an hour, and we'll talk about mental health. How about that, mate? Honestly, give it a try at least. You know, let me just put a couple of wee pointers into your head. You know, I can't watch Blue Lights. I can't watch it, Lady J. I'm sorry, like it does not represent Northern Ireland at all. It's just nonsense. See, I just read your comment, you fucker. I made him yawn again. I'll go 40 pants. I'm going to call it a night. I just call it. He's going to drop off as you feel like, because I'm just going to say good night to you and do a wee waltons and say whatnot, you know. I know. I just don't. I just think it's completely different than reality. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Also, man, penal laws. Well, I'm a Protestant and strongly thinking of converting to Catholicism. Why not? Why not, mate? Wendover, just going. I can't stop yawning because of 40 pants. He's making me do this. Cheers, Freedom Drive, driving up the 75, heading for the boat. Good night and God bless. Have a good one. 404 not found. Silver Fox Shangle, night all, and the best, Freedom Dad. Yeah, and just with Shangle, thank you so much to everybody in the Shangle today for so much love, the tooting the horns, shouting out the windows, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just me, there was a couple of right-wing celebrities there, you know what I mean, if you want to, for want of a better word. So yeah, it was a good laugh. And I just want to say to everybody, it means a lot to us when we're out and about and you see us and recognise us and take the time to shout out, fucking give it the keep going, you know, I fucking love that, you know what I mean? We all do, of course we do, you know what I mean? It shows us that we're the community's behind us, you know what I mean? It shows us, well, if I'm ever in doubt, just have a walk about. So honest to God, like if I'm ever in doubt, just go for a walk. You know, just go on the main road, any main road in any of my areas, and nothing but love, toots the horns, and you know, even walking down the road the other day with Pinky Man, some woman just gave him a crate of Coca-Cola. There you go. You know what I mean? And it's non-stop love, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It really is. I'm so humbled by it, you know, because it's just something that's happening overnight, and it seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And in my head, I think because the world's such a big world in Northern Ireland, there's so many people, you know, again, people know me. I'm not that big, but when I'm out and about, I feel like my channels are bigger than they are, and I don't know how that works out. I really don't get it. You know what I mean? But you know, it's crazy. It's crazy, and I am so overwhelmed and humbled, and I thank you all, every single one of you, to take the time to give me a shout out, or Pinky, or anybody I'm with, Glenn, even when we're at the court and all that, and you know, it's just remarkable, absolutely remarkable. I do indeed. CSC audits. I was born again when I was 12 years old. Yeah, sucking cats and all, man. Stop it, guys. Now I'm yawning too. You're just trying to get me to keep yawning. All yous are. But yeah, it's just a bit of laughing. We try and keep it light. Everything's quite serious. You know, I'm always talking to guys, and it's always quite serious. Most people, a good person when they see them Freedom Dad, yeah. So, like during the day when we're out and about, we do have a laugh, but it's quite serious topics. There's quite a lot of serious things going on. there is still a risk, you know what I mean? There is people wanting to shut me up. There is people would like me to disappear, you know what I mean? And I am so grateful to my community for protecting me and looking out for me, and grateful for all the love that I get. Um, like I say, I'm not here to take over. I'm not here to be a politician. I'm not here. I'm not a leader of men. You know, I am a citizen journalist. That's the direction I want to go in. How long, you know, I want to do that for, I don't know. You know what I mean? Um, but the kind of thing I would like to settle down doing would be podcasts and stuff like that, and bringing some sort of light-hearted news about Northern Ireland and just Northern Ireland, because this is the thing that one of the things that's, I think it stands out with Freedom Dad's channel is I am concentrating on just Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's the most important thing to me. It's part of my life. It's like my family. It's like my mother and my father. It's my DNA. It means more to me than anything in the world. And you know, like when I was over in Scotland, allegedly doing the bank robberies, you've got to understand that the ceasefires were called, and nobody was allowed to pick up a gun, and so yeah, the peace was called. I got 18 years in Scotland. I got married. I settled down. Everything was peaceful. You know, there was no war. There was no conflict. You know, I grew up in the conflict. I grew up in that. That was part of my life, and then it was taken away. And it was difficult for not just me, but for everybody that was all involved in it. And I found my peace in love with my wife, you know, and then I lost my wife, nearly lost my life. After that, I lost my mind for a while and came back from it. And then, you know, that's when I had a baby, and that was the trigger. And that's why I came home, you know, because I'm looking at the best place, the best possibility for my child to be brought up in a Christian community, whether it's Protestant and Catholic, it doesn't make a difference to me. And out of everywhere that I looked at, my country is the most viable. So even if my partner or my baby's mama isn't prepared to move to Northern Ireland just yet, I do believe one day it will be the only option for her and my child. So I want to make sure it's available for her. And that's the most important thing to me, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's a love like no other. It's a passion like no other. It's a determination like no other. There's nothing can stop me. If anybody came to my door and told me, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, we're going to shoot you, you'll need to shoot me. If somebody came to my door and says, we don't want you doing this anymore, you need to leave the country, you will need to shoot me, because I'm not leaving the country. I'm not stopping doing what I'm doing. I'm not afraid of the IRA. I'm not afraid of the NLA. I'm not afraid of the dissidents. I've got no fear at all in my heart. I would die with a smile on my face, because I know my death would create something else, you know what I mean? And that's the bottom line, it, guys. And that's the truth, you know what I mean? I can't help being who I am. I can't stop doing what I'm doing. The police can't stop me. The newspapers won't stop me. And there's not a man walking on this soil that will be able to stop me. The only way you're going to stop me is by putting me down. And by putting me down, there's a lot more that's going to grow up after that, you know, because that's just the way the world is. And I'm aware of that. And my videos will probably mean a lot more when I'm not here than when I'm here. And I also know that as well. And enough people have them on hard drives now, spread around in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, safely put away for my videos to pop up one day, because I want my child to see them. You got to understand, you know what I mean? I want my kid to grow up one day and look back at what our father tried to do. And that's the way it is, you know. It's a passion like no other, you know. It's a drive that I can't explain to you, you know, and it's good because it's like that, you know, because you couldn't do this any other way. You couldn't do this if you were a wee bit feared, because it's a minefield. It really is. The amount of people that don't like you and are jealous of you and don't like the fact that you just popped in and you're good at what you do, and you're good at delivering exactly what needs to be delivered, and you've got a goal, you know what I mean? You've got a plan, and people don't like that, because there's people who've been jumping about trying to make money on YouTube in this country or TikToks in this country for a wee while, and they're just no good at it, you know what I mean? And you know, they hate on me because of their faults more than anything, unable to do something that's creative, you know what I mean? that's not just creative, but for the community, to actually serve the community, for the future of the community, for the future of your children, you know, and that's what it's about. A lot of people don't see past tomorrow. They don't, you know, they just want to make money, and you know, they don't want to work. They'd rather just make money an easier way, and it doesn't work like that. If you're going to try and make money with this, it's not going to work. You know, if you're wanting to, you could do it if you like, if you had big followers and you were passionate enough and you stayed true to who you were, but you know, I just don't think. I think you've got to be excited about something. People aren't doing it for the right reasons, and if you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're not going to succeed at it. That's my experience, and that is experience. That is what I'm learning. I'm not saying that I've came into this with that knowledge. I've learned that knowledge since I've came into this, and I'm just sharing it with you. Right, let me have a look at these comments. That's our only home. We need to cherish it. Yep. Married 30 years. 38 years. Good. 40 pounds. Good. I'm still looking at moving over. Good, mate. Good. We need as many coming back as possible. Blacklist is brilliant. Yeah. Blacklist is good. Blacklist is good, guys. If you haven't watched Blacklist, get on it. It's really good. Nobs, fuck. Sorry, I don't know where the fuck that came from. Mods. Oh, sorry, guys. Can you put a link up? I have over 7,000 followers, so I can get more people to follow me. Freedom Dad. Yep, put a link up. No, I'm all good, mate. You know, my guys will follow you. Let's get you up to where I am. You don't need to give me any more. I'm quite happy where I'm sitting. 15,000. I'm fucking more than happy with that. You know, if I'd set at 15,000 for the next 10 years and be really happy with that. It's just right. Okay. Judgment Day. I'm not. I could speak. I said I could speak Irish, but I'm not fluent. But let me have a go at this. Och, machaf. No, better not in case it's something that'll get me shut down. You know what I mean? Something really bad in Irish. Only by going through shade times can you appreciate the good times. Yep, definitely. Oh, they're going to try and get in the Northern Ireland. Thank you, Osman. Oh, come on, Lady J. Why would you do that? That's bad crack, so it is. Come on, girl. Probably say goodnight. Sit nice. Sit nice, sit nice, sit nice. You gotta sit nice. If you want to be on telly, you gotta sit nice. I know I love you too. I have 3 children. I need to do this as well. I know. Don't. That's enough, right? Make my hand. I have 3 children in their 30s and 4 grandchildren and so forth, so I have plenty to fight for. Any way possible. Good. Peacefully. 15.1. That's enough for a seat in Stormont. Oh, don't, man. You speak nothing but the truth. Cheers, mate. Good one. Love CB radio in the 80s. Where'd that come from? You're biting me? Ow. You're just a big softy, aren't you? You're just a big softy. Unless 15 tries to come in through the door, and you're going to eat them all up, aren't you? Yes. You don't like strangers, do you? No, you don't. I know. You're just a big baby. Yeah. You're just a big baby. You want a cuddle? Come here, give me a cuddle. Oh, look, she's great. Look at that. Look at that. How gentle that is. Look. Put your finger in there. She wouldn't bite you. Wouldn't bite you. Freedom Dad, look back about the CB comment. Loved CB radios in the 80s. Is that it? My handle was Bluebird. Right, guys, come on. I'm not trying to beat fucking CJ Audits. I'm not trying to beat CJ Audits. He's a record holder. I think, is he a record holder? Did I do a 4-hour live once? Was it a 3-hour? Police scanners. Yes. Yes. What was so bad about what I said? Freedom Dad, you give away you give it away. You know what I mean? You give it away. Imagine doing. I'm not even going to tell you how bad it was in case, so if anybody missed it. CJ's beat me so far. Okay, or so check. We'll need to sort that out. Breaker, breaker. Breaker, go. Oh, don't the good old days. You give it away. You did. You give it away. The biggest bit of the plot, you know what I mean? You give away. Breaker, 19 for a copy. What's your 11? Is it? What's your 11? What's your, where are you from? That's what that was, wasn't it? Evo stick. Right, we're not going down that road. Bluebird was my handle, guys. What's your 20? That's it. What's your 20? That's it. That was your location. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Miss J. What did you do to go inside? Bank robberies, mate. I'm sure check. CJ done a 418 on Saturday. I know he did. I was Black Phantom. Oh, guys, right, I'm definitely going. I don't like leaving you because I know you enjoy the lives and that, and it's a wee community. My dad was Ballysillan Snowman on the CB, if I remember correctly. Right, Nolan time is it, guys? Okay. Get our Henry Ulster Bank only bucks. Did you know I didn't yet? It wasn't Ulster Banks. Okie dokie, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. The trolls have gone. You know, they didn't think it would be as easy as they thought, did they? So, you just want to say goodnight. Say goodnight. No more mad comments. No more questions. Time to go. It was the Northern Bank. I fucking wish. Yeah. So, guys, what's happening tomorrow? What's happening tomorrow? Oh, I know what's happening tomorrow. Will do. But I think, right, to be right, I just forgot to send the number. I'll phone them in the morning. So, got a wee meeting tomorrow with somebody. Let me a tenner. Only fake tenors left. I'm just waiting for the ink to dry. But no, yeah, hopefully I'm going to be getting a chat with some guys and more, just to get educated and learn a wee bit more about life in Northern Ireland and politics and stuff. So I'm making sure I'm always saying the right stuff, and I'm hopefully getting some interviews soon. Just waiting. A lot of people are really busy. Yes, mate. Yeah. You can get me on. The best one to get me right now is Sparky Dad, SPARKY Dad 73 at gmail.com. Okay. I've got other people to check everything like that, but they will if there's anything, because I get a lot of spam and a lot of nonsense. So I will get to me. I promise you. Really, I should check what's the titles of your books I'd love to read after training. Okie dokie. No problem, guys. So listen, I'm going to wrap it up. 140 left on the chat, 166 likes. Obviously the trolls, the media, and the lefties have gone, and it's just patriots that are left. So keep it real, guys. Always keep it real. Don't be shy of the truth, okay? No matter what people say or what they think about you, never veer from the path that you're on. if you believe it in your heart, if you know in your heart that it's right, it will be right. There's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of people around you that don't understand it. Don't waste your time and energy. You know, all you can do is tell them to do their research, you know, tell them to check out Freedom Dad's channel, you know what I mean? Find some videos out there like Dino Bean, British Slaughter, Past 49, you know, Gobster Talks, you know what I mean? You know all the score, guys. I don't like leaving them because I always forget them. Get them to check these guys out, you know, watch their videos, you know. That's all you can do. You can point people in the right direction and you can try your best, but don't ever let anybody put you down, you know. Even if you're up against it, even if you're in a room with 100 people who don't believe that there's a threat coming to this country and they believe immigration is good and diversity is good and Islam is harmless, don't worry about it, you know. Just get yourself out of that room, okay? And surround yourself with people that understand and know what's coming, because it's only then you're going to be able to do the right thing. You're never going to be able to help me, you, or your family, or your future kids and grandchildren if you're around the wrong people, okay? All you can do is tell them, this is what I know, this is the facts, this is what's coming. If you don't wake up, then your kids are going to suffer. That's all you can do, you know. If they don't want to go and do the research, it's up to them. And at the end of the day, don't lose heart, don't lose hope, and remember, we will prevail. We cannot go wrong. The people of Ulster, Northern Ireland, both Protestants and Catholics, within the next year, will be arisen and ready to do what needs to be done. And whether that's change politics, change policies, or worse, who knows? You know, but people have changed. Northern Ireland is one of the quickest places I know of that's awakening. The government know that, the police know that, the media and I know that. And let me put it like this. If you ever need to know the feeling of the nation, of our country, just watch the mainstream media when they put stuff online. Always check at what post they turn the comments off, okay? Because when they turn the comments off, that means they're hiding the truth. Okay, so if they've got something about something bad that's happened by an immigrant or a refugee or something to do with mass immigration, and they're putting something out there and they don't allow you to comment, that's because they know. It's because they know that we know. And remember that. There's lots of things out there that are changing that make me very confident. But the main thing is we're not there yet. We are getting close, but we are in second gear. And I hope not to get the fourth and fifth gear, and certainly I hope not to get the sixth gear, you know. But I hope honestly, I hope third gear should do it. You know, by the time we get in the third gear, that should be enough for us to be safe, knowing that we're going to do what needs to be done and protect our country, our traditions, our cultures, our children, and our grandchildren going forward for the next 100 years. That's the plan. Not a lot to ask, is it? Listen, guys, all my love, and thank you all so much for coming in. I'm waiting for the dog to disappear in the back of that seat. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you up to? Huh? What was there, sweetie? One of the kids leave a sweetie. Come here. You want to say goodbye? Did you see a girl jumped out of... Where the fuck did that go? No, I haven't seen that seagull. Half-eaten Mars bar. That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me with this big one. Yeah. You get into everything, don't you? Yeah. You get into everything. Yes, you do. You get into everything. So, guys, I'm going to get these dogs out the front and let them empty because I'm too tired to do anything else. And then I'm going to go and maybe check out Nolan. Who knows? So listen, guys, thanks again for coming in. I don't know if I'll do a live. I don't want to promise a live because I don't know what my day's going to bring. I will look it up, mate. I will look it up. I will look it up, Seagull. Smell Staffy. What? So, guys, I'm going to love yous and leave yous, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll have a video. There'll be a video coming tomorrow with the other so they will. And yeah, if I'm able to, if I'm not tired, I will bring you alive tomorrow night and get a wee quick chat. 189 minutes. Listen, guys, gotta love and leave you. And as always, God bless.